Hello, everybody, and welcome to Awfully Silly, the show that features your favorite awful, funny, bad, terrible, ridiculous, silly, goofy, games that you can usually find really well in an awful or silly block if you happen to be somebody who likes to stay up overnight during the mainline GDQ events. But we wanted to put it in a little prime time slot here for you every other Monday. My name is Conception. I'm the host of the show. We have, as I say every week, another doozy for you. We're getting a little sci-fi tonight, so I'm really excited for it. But before we do so, a couple things that we want to make y'all aware of. First, Frame Fatale submissions are open now until May 20th. You feel free to use !FF in the Twitch chat to learn more about that. Get your submissions in. Cannot wait to see the game selected for that one. Frost was such a excellent event. Can't wait to see how they do for Flame Fatales. Also, SGDQ 2023 is coming up May 28th through June 4th. That is going to be live in person in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Prize submissions close tonight. So if you're somebody who is trying to get a prize in to be won during the event, they close this evening. Make sure you get them in. You can go on over to gamesdonequick.com for some more information on all of that, and you can find the schedule and everything like that as well. Before we jump into the next run, yes, we are getting awfully sci-fi tonight. We have a few games, as you can see on the schedule. The first one that we are going to be kicking things off with is RoboCop, specifically the 2003 version, and it is going to be run by Kenzie. Kenzie, go ahead and take it away.
All right, thank you so much. Hi, everyone. I'm Kenzie. I'm going to be running RoboCop for you today, and I have brought one of my good friends along for commentary.
Hi, I'm KZ Frew. That's an F-R-E-W. Cough, cough. It's not K-R-E-W. Just got to dunk on the producers before we get started.
Then that's my fault, actually. If it's spelled wrong, that was me.
Oh.
Yeah, you can dunk on me instead.
All right. I'll dunk on you both. Okay. I'm just coming out here swinging. Okay. I'll swing at Kinsey too. When you said you're playing RoboCop, you said it like you don't believe it. You're like, I'm playing RoboCop.
I'm blown away by this fact. Because yeah, it's been an incredible 3 years since I last touched this game. So I did have to do a bit of work getting it back into the muscles. But yeah, no, I'm gonna do my best for you all today. And yeah, I guess no further words of introduction. Shall we get the show on the road?
Yo, let's do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hell yeah. All right. So, okay, from my side, I'm gonna hope my auto splitter still works. All right. So I guess I'll count you all in with a little. Let's just do 3, 2, 1, go.
In politics,
best of luck.
The electoral campaign.
Thank you so much.
Mayor of Neal, Detroit.
So we've got some introductory cutscenes and all that, but very, very soon, there we are in the actual level. So it starts off relatively calmly. This game, you are the RoboCop. You're just called out to some gang violence, I believe, happening in the streets, and people hiding in the sewers. Okay, so yeah, we need to find the sewers, which is interesting as a first objective. But yeah, we need to blow the hell out of this van that's been placed here as a bit of a roadblock. And immediately, switching to a bit of the speedrun strats and all that. For this run, we make liberal use of a frame rate toggle. As you can see right now, my frame rate is completely ridiculous, and for some
slope.
Ooh, damn, no first try.
It's kind of tricky.
Too eager. Yeah. Of course, you want to go fast. It's very tricky to. Oop. There we go. Okay.
Had to give it a little.
Take a little bit more time. Take a little bit more care. We can do this.
Yeah, that's right. Spin the gun a few more times.
Exactly. Oh my, okay. Just currently not going incredibly well. But yeah, as you can see, at the start, it's relatively straightforward. Just, you know, shoot all the people that you see. Unless they pulse blue, then you do not shoot them. But yeah, for the stuff with the FPS, one obvious thing is whenever there are explosions happening, you'll see me keep the FPS nice and low. And whenever, well, basically, whenever that is not the case, I will try to have the FPS high.
Well, a good job, Kinsey. Order restored.
Dangerous new drug has
Heck yeah.
Yeah, that's what they tell us anyway.
RoboCop, we just got some disturbing news.
No one is breathing anymore. That is what order is in this world, apparently.
All right, welcome to Mars.
Yeah, a bit of a tonal change from the first level.
This game likes to jump around with its environments. I
Quite a
enjoy
lot,
it.
yeah.
The cathedral is probably my favorite aesthetically. Most of these levels they are just strictly like overlong. You just walk all over the place.
So currently, what you'll see me do quite a lot here. Oop. Come on, there we go. Currently, what you'll see me do quite a lot here is I was interacting with walls at first there. Okay, for safety, I'm actually just going to do this one by hand. There we go. I'm interacting with people through walls because there's a number of hostages that are you know, stuck here on this map, and my objective is to make them go away. And there are two ways to make hostages go away. You can save them, which makes them go away, or you can bring their health to 0, which makes them go away. So that is how RoboCop deals with hostages.
Like the dodging around the word killing there. Bring their health to 0.
I mean, they are according to the game anyway, they are good people, so yeah.
Unburden them from their living conscience.
Exactly. So that's how we got through the first section. It's just kind of strategically looking at who can we interact with, and sometimes through walls, because it is just a distance interact. There's no you know, it cannot be blocked by anything. Or just throw explosives in their near vicinity, and that works too.
Oh yeah. I remember playing this level and just being lost in the container maze for at least an hour.
Yeah, this level really doesn't mess around.
Yeah, it is hostile to fun.
As you can see as well, I spin the gun around a lot, which is obviously just for fun. Because you know, it's iconic, isn't it? If you've seen the movie. But it's just when you hit the reload button when your gun is actually already full, then you just spin the gun a bit.
It's probably the best feature of the game.
I was gonna say so far, best thing I've seen.
So I do have a question, if you can recollect some of the other features of high versus low FPS. Like you mentioned explosions. I would have to imagine at high FPS they are extremely dangerous, right? They like
exactly
just melt you immediately.
Exactly, because what this game does on a per frame basis is physics. So, you know, falling or trying to move past objects, and explosions. Explosions are just like a big damaging sphere that just stays in a location for a little bit, and just damages you on a per frame basis. So if your FPS is, let's say, 230, that is more damage than you will survive. That That's too much.
Oh my
So-
god, it's the spider mech.
It's the spider
But
mech.
we don't do anything with it because you just slam your face into the wall and go around it, right? Oh man, no! I wanted to see the spider mech, dude.
I mean, avoiding the spider mech is actually not even because it's faster. It is faster. It's a lot faster. It's specifically because the spider mech loves to crash the game when it's functioning.
Oh, that is true.
Yeah. Okay, in this section, I pick up this batch of ammo, and then I look straight at the floor. And then let's see if I can still navigate this section. Yeah, when the floor gets really dark, I can look up again. Yeah, because that's another section that loves to crash the game. So this game, yeah, there is a little bit of just having to kind of navigate crash avoidance.
Oh,
Well, I was not
RoboCop
ready
is
for that
just
one.
Face down on the game over screen.
I have to apologize.
Welcome to
I
Mars,
wasn't ready for
folks.
that one. And as you can see, that has given us a bit of a setback.
The game is kind of rude.
The game
It's
is
like,
very
well,
rude. Yeah.
It knows how you've treated those hostages. It's like, let's see if you've got the stomach to do that all over again, huh, buddy?
Must not have meant to kill them all. We're gonna give you a second chance at this.
Yeah, it is another try. Dude, for those of you that might be inquisitive, dear reader, and have investigated this speedrun.com leaderboard for this page, you will find my name as well as Kenzie's name. You might also notice that my time is over an hour slower. I would like to just say that still qualifies me as a runner of this game, okay? I am a subject matter expert. I have played it, so you don't have to. And so is Kinsey. It turns out Kinsey can stomach this a lot better than I can. I only have one room in my heart for one bad game, and that would be True Crime New York City. I have paid my pittance. I have served my time in awful, silly jail.
A game we have also had on the show.
This is no surprise to me.
Yeah.
It belongs there, and it will be at SGDQ.
Yes, it will. Good friend PMC trilogy.
Oh man,
Citizens like you
What a
make
guy.
my job worthwhile.
So yes, sadly that was a good display of what happens when one stands in an explosion with high FPS.
yeah, there you go.
So yeah, that enemy when they die, sometimes they explode and sometimes they don't. I guess I overestimated my chances on him not exploding. So that is my bad. But yeah, let's see. Yeah, there's depending on the exact context. Yeah, sometimes it's good also to have. Wow. Yep. Okay. Well, of course, when you're losing time, you're losing time.
There you go. That's what I do when I see people coming up to my door. I just slowly close it.
Mm-hmm. Leave the food on the doorstep. No.
So there's, man. Actually, I don't know how far in the level we are. Never mind. I'll come back to my thought later.
All right. But as you can see, like squeezing in between those two barrels and actually squeezing past that police officer because he stands up and then drops his ID card behind him, kind of.
Oh,
and,
here we go. It's this friend here. The friend.
We hit him with the load cannon,
the load cannon.
and he's gone. Big fan of that one.
He's actually like super dangerous, right? If I remember correctly.
Oh yeah. Robots like that are, especially up close, can be very damaging. And like the best thing to use against them would be explosives, which is usually a bad idea when you're close enough to hug them. So
Sure.
that's definitely good that we can just walk into the next load zone and say goodbye to the robot.
So What would you say is the difference between my hour 33 and your 2901? Is it being good? Or is there
I
more
mean,
to it? Oh no.
Oh my god. I am.
We're stuck on
make-
Mars.
Okay, I'm making a real mess of this. If this is too much of a mess, then I can definitely skip to the next level. But yeah,
It's looking like my run.
my god, yeah. I'm so sorry.
That's all right. We're all along for the ride here.
Okay, well, I mean, at least everyone gets to see what an absolute gem this game is.
It's the average RoboCop 2003 experience.
Very much so, yeah.
You do have to specify the year because there's like 4 games named
Oh my God.
RoboCop.
There's another aspect of this game that I can show off. That yeah, when you shoot the enemies, as you decrease their health, they have a chance of surrendering to you. Oh my god! And they will put their hands up and become. Okay. Again, I'm just gonna have to do this safely because as you can see, there's this meter on the right of the screen. It doesn't really have a name. I usually refer to it as the chaos meter. It's just whenever RoboCop does something he's very much not supposed to, like killing innocents, it goes up. And when it hits 100, then from that point onwards, anything you do that would add to the chaos meter instead decreases your health. It's kind of a, like, I guess, thematically kind of like some kind of, you know, shutdown built into RoboCop when RoboCop does things that he's not supposed to. So I have to be a little bit careful sometimes when the chaos meter gets very high. Then Strat's like removing hostages because it would be faster. Sometimes, you know, isn't possible anymore because it would then kill me.
Somebody in the chat room has said that Halo 1 came out a year before this game, which is like the most insulting thing you could say. It's
Yeah,
really good.
that's
You did not have to do it to him.
Insulting
That
to
is
Halo. Halo doesn't have the magnum spinning around in the hand, you know?
You know?
that is true.
All right, 1 point to RoboCop. We can give all the rest to Halo.
And yeah, also in this level, if you hadn't noticed yet, your supervisor will just keep repeating the same line to you, sometimes instantly after the last one. It's great.
Just in case you were on your phone, you know?
Exactly. I mean, nowadays people do sometimes complain about, you know, like, you know, you're taught something once, and if you ever forget, then, well, you're screwed. Well, this game does not let you forget.
I think some modern games have had this problem, like God of War Ragnarok for sure. All right, I'm ready for the load cannon.
Point, aim, and fire.
Right in the face.
Oh. Yeah, so what you saw last time is, well, I don't think I've ever really explained it. I'm sorry. There's a bit of an out of bounds that we're doing. To skip the big spider boss battle. And yeah, it's a real minefield. Because if I push myself up on the kind of the hill to the right, past the wall that's coming up, and if you don't commit, you drop on the wall, and you know, you get stuck in like an infinite collision, and the game kills you. If you overcommit, you get behind like a lamp that's standing over there, and you get stuck in an infinite collision loop, and it kills you. So
That's pretty good.
I apologize, but yeah, that's the exact finickiness of things like that are easy to forget over 3 years of not playing this trash.
You do not owe me or us an apology, but you probably do owe the guy who modeled the spider mech an apology, because you take one look at it and you just turn away. Like, you probably spent weeks on that thing. It's like, it's going to be the one good part of this game.
Yeah. But yeah, in my defense, again, leaving that thing alive gives a pretty serious chance of crashing the game.
That's a built-in feature, my friend. All right.
Finally,
We have escaped Mars.
escaped this level.
Whee!
What could
yes,
possibly
please say
await
it.
us next?
We've just received a press release from Captain Scott Kennedy.
Anybody
So
looking
next
for
up-
Detroit apartments? Sorry, go ahead.
Hello, RoboCop. We just got a
Next up, yeah, we've escaped Mars, and we have now entered a warehouse.
are now authorized.
How did we get here? I'm sorry, I do not have an explanation for you.
Crime does not discriminate. It's everywhere.
There we go. And again, I have to switch my FPS to 30 because I'm both trying to get through this door as soon as it opens and also trying to avoid the massive explosion that's about to happen right behind me because of that ED209.
Oh, I just saw a plant. Ooh, there's a few of them here.
Yeah, a bit of foliage.
There you go.
Even here in this, is this post-apocalypse? I mean, almost, right?
I have
Kind of on
not
the
seen,
verge.
I've not seen RoboCop, so I don't know.
You've not seen RoboCop?
I have not
Oh,
seen
really?
Yeah, no, it's yeah, hard to believe.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I'm contractually obligated to flame you for that because that's what everyone did to me when I started speedrunning this game and I hadn't seen the movie yet.
Oh, that's funny. No, you see,
Yeah.
I don't
There's
give
a
in.
history. Oh,
No, it's,
Casey just loves the game so much that he doesn't need to see the movie anymore.
okay, but can I blast PMC Trilogy for running The Sopranos Road to Respect and not watching The Sopranos? That is unacceptable.
That is unacceptable.
So again, it's a lot of these levels are fairly linear. It's you know, get the key card, go to the door that opens the key card opens, and you can see when the enemies are either dying or surrendering to me. It can get a bit difficult to get past them. So in moments like that, you will usually see me switch down to 30 FPS to you know, again, avoid those collisions. Because, you know, having 300 collisions happen every second rather than, or 30 collisions happen every second, it makes a real difference. You wouldn't think it, but it really does.
I think I got so horribly stuck at this part that you had to backseat me.
It might
pretty
be.
sure.
Yeah, because the game really does not make it obvious. Because you know, there's the whole this sorting system that's happening here. But yeah, you have to hit the switch at the top, which activates the sorting to level 3, and then you have to just know to stand on top of that barrel as it, you know, places you up there.
Ammunition.
It's not as obvious as the developers might have thought.
I'm fairly intuitive. I'm fairly quick. But yeah, when it comes to that, like, sorry, I didn't activate the button all the way at the top of the stairs, go down them, get on the, and then wait for a barrel, and then get on the barrel. Okay, this is I think an auto scroller.
Yeah,
Is
that
it?
was a bit of an auto scroller there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One. Yeah.
But it's, yeah, you do trigger, like, where you stand in the little gondola, So if you know, as a speedrunner would, just try to activate the gauntlet as fast as possible, you are then like dropped in a position where it's really awkward to shoot anyone from. So it can definitely help to maybe extend your time a little bit, just positioning yourself nicely in the center. And here again, I kill that guy because he is carrying one of those fabled key cards that we need.
Love a good key card factory.
Someone had to make him, right?
Exactly. I don't know why there's all this like uncovered lava for the ID card factory, but then again, maybe I'm asking too many questions.
You have no idea what goes into these things.
Yeah. Here, let's see if I can do an epic, slide down the... No, okay. Not bad, not too bad. Like a real... oh, well, okay, I would have loved to, like, kind of go through that quickly, but sometimes the AI just disagrees with you.
Energy.
And then after we've opened the door, we go through. Nice little cutscene, very informative. And here, we hope that no one surrenders to us. And someone surrendered. That's a shame.
Come on.
Because I need them all to disappear. And as we discussed before, there are 2 ways to get people to disappear.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, when enemies surrender to you, sometimes that can be a real issue because, they can either block progress or, well, either physically or through checkpointing. All right, we go over here. I will lower my FPS as to not die from that. Let's hope that is enough. Oh. Trying to blindly walk towards the stairs that are behind me while shooting this thing.
Is the pistol, like, as good as I think it is?
It's really good because if you time your inputs correctly, it's an absolute bullet hose.
Yeah, that's it.
There is another gun that also shoots, about as fast, but it creates such a horrific noise that no one wants to use it.
Oh, that literally.
In politics,
Yeah, I think I know the one you're talking about. I think I tried it once on my casual playthrough and I put it away for good.
Yeah. I don't know. Should I spare the public of it, or should I give you all a taste? Like
If I
I'm
know the
genuinely
GDQ,
asking.
no, if I know the GDQ audience, you do have to show it.
Okay. Well, I mean, this section is kind of just walking in a straight line towards where I need to be, because as you can see, 100 shield, 100 power, and these folks don't do a great deal of damage to me. So I do have a bit of time. So you see here, there's a big arm cannon. It's like a chain gun type thing. Okay. First, let me focus on getting up these stairs because they are very long, and then let me fire this gun. Prepare yourself.
That's the stuff. That's the stuff. Yes, it fuels me.
It's so bad. And like, we probably turned it down a good bit for you. You should hear the thing raw.
I would have to say this is probably my favorite level. It's also fun to do in the run because the out of bounds is fun, but it's also very precarious.
Yeah, I think this is the first, proper discovery in terms of, real speed tech for this game.
There you go. That takes me at least 60 tries. Ooh, the ladies that fire like the Kamehamehas, miserable.
Yeah, they're a real nuisance.
Like,
I can tell you, even when I was, at my peak for this game, they would still, make my heart skip a beat. Because they are genuinely capable of just deleting you. And usually 30 FPS is like, it helps, but it's not a cure-all.
Yeah. Like it's an enemy that's so bad you do have to drop everything you're doing to eliminate them.
Deal
right
with
away.
it.
Oh my god!
Very much so.
I spent so much time in the dynamite cave hell that is this level. I walked around so many times. So many levels are like this that is just indistinguishable noise, and I have no idea where I'm going. I have no idea where I've been.
Yeah, I remember in my casual playthrough of this game, this was. I want to say it was hell, but I mean it gets monotonous, you know? At some point you just don't even know what you're doing here anymore.
I'm begging for any sort of stimulus, please. Anything to happen.
Right now, it looks like the Fallout 3 we have at home.
You're not wrong, dude.
Oh my god. Oh, that is a very good analogy. So currently, our objective is just destroying those like kind of red and green crates. There are 10 of them, and magically, you know, it's the classic video game thing. The last one that I destroy has the thing that I'm looking for in it, which is the ID card that opens the next door. Are you picking up on a bit of a theme here?
The investigation.
We have not evolved game mechanics since Doom, folks. Anybody that tells you otherwise is lying to you.
Yeah, you know what? In that era, they called this a puzzle.
A challenge.
Oh, dude, I do like the laser gun. Very
the
effective.
laser gun is so good. Oh god. Okay, but yeah, this level is absolutely full of these robot bastards.
Yeah, it's like the cathedral level is really the turning point when they start to just unload the most obnoxious enemies, and then it becomes hard to really just relax and enjoy the rest of the game because you never know when you're just gonna get melted.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh god. Well, again.
You know.
Oh my god. Please don't let this
curse.
be the start of something. Okay, hold on. Again, marathon, safety. Let's just grab the additional ammo for this thing. So at least that's something that I'm not risking. Because like, even like, I'm a big fan of, you know, high FPS gameplay. But for this level, I will be doing pretty much the entire thing at 30 FPS because it's just too dangerous to at any point, you know, switch away from it.
We're playing on easy, by the way.
Oh yeah, did we
3
mention
difficulty
that?
levels: easy, medium, and hard. Right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Incredible. Yeah, here, again, maybe, you know, 99 times out of 100, if you just keep moving, you know, wherever they fire that beam, it will just end up behind you, right? Because you're moving, and, you know, aiming technology had not evolved very much at this point. So, it's usually not too much of an issue, but sometimes the game just says no. Like this guy, yeah, he aimed so high that the beam just flies completely past me. And, you know, I don't have to worry about it in the slightest. And this guy, I just stun lock. I don't really, you know, kill him or anything. I just make sure that he can't fire at me yet. And then, well, yeah, I guess we just hit him with the load cannon again.
Oh, the jet ski escape. It's... Resident Evil 4 saw this and was like, yeah, we should do that.
Here, that was a great one because, oh yeah, this guy, okay, first of all, he could have killed me while I was stuck in that cutscene. There's a very low chance of that happening, but there's still a chance. And then, when the cutscene finally ended, he just shot at me through a wall. And I also just got shot at here, I heard, so... My guy.
A moment to reload, sir.
I beg of thee.
What do you think that thing is for?
I mean, it's you know, it's just a model, right?
No, I think it has a very practical purpose.
It does indeed.
It's to kill you. Yeah, there it is.
Here's another thing where it's either, you know, I could show off a speed strat, but again, I feel like the risks are already far too high. You can, you know, like kind of squeeze out of that little hole that you're hiding in. You can squeeze out of there pretty early and avoid, you know, the insta-kill hitbox that big piece of equipment represents.
Why are the boat keys there, by the way?
Oh, yeah. But, yeah, currently I am not ready to take a risk of that magnitude. And here's another lovely one. Yeah, if you just spam enter on that boat, like spam interact on it, they actually
Now it's official.
I don't know, they didn't like
What a landslide victory.
program an exit case for that, so every time you press enter, the fade out just restarts. So if, like me, you really like spamming buttons, then you can just mess up and very much extend your time in that level.
In case you don't want it to end.
Yeah, you can't move, but you know you can remain there for a bit. And this is also lovely. Just a very small corridor that you have to go through. There's no other way to get to this button that I need to press. And they just chuck it full of dudes.
Yeah, how do we make our game hard, guys? Just double the amount of dudes.
And these doors are a staple of this level. You will very often just, yeah, interact with it and just wait for it to open. Because again, that's great. I love waiting in my video games. And oh yeah, if you go through one, they immediately close behind you, so guess what you're doing. Also, this guy is holding a hostage, and
RoboCop is doing his job.
Not part of my my objective, so I'm terribly sorry, but yeah, I was not coded to take secondary objectives into account. I'm sorry, sir. You are a secondary objective. Ouch. Yeah.
Well.
There we go, making liberal use of explosions because we know how incredibly powerful they are, as long as, you know, we just don't stay in them for too long. And here, this person, I'm sorry, I will only talk to you when I'm standing on top of you. Because he both, when interacting with him, blocks our movement until he's done talking, and also he drops an ID card, which I would like to grab ASAP. So now I can just turn around and walk away. There's a switch over there that I can interact with. To this day, I have no clue what that thing does. I don't need to flip it. It's not essential to complete this level. If you know what that switch does, please tell me. I would genuinely love to know.
Classic speedrunner ideology. Not relevant. Not even in the brain. There you go. You saved one person.
The door is electronically locked. I mean, you say that, but it opened, so I have no idea. There are a lot of things in this game that I just don't know, but hey, if I know how to get to the end, that's really all that matters. I mean, I have, you know, spent a good amount of time just trying to find faster ways through the levels, but yeah, there's still a lot of unanswered questions for this game.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of walking, it's a lot of doors, it's a lot of key cards. It's kind of hard to really properly sequence break that, except in some cases.
Yeah.
Like the Cathedral, for example, is a good case of that.
Yeah, this is just a complete
RoboCop, who
out
until
of
now has
bounds.
held the total
Ooh, okay.
RoboCop, we don't
Here's
have
the
much time.
last, technically second to last level. Whoa, excuse me. And once again, back to 30 because you can already see the explosion as I walk out of there. This level also, it had some, I guess some hidden strats. Oh! Awesome.
Crash?
Yeah, no, it just crashed. Okay, I have a backup.
Hidden strat is the desktop warp.
All right, showing the final cutscene of the game a little bit early. I'm very sorry, because that's how you load a save in this game. It's incredible. Oh, okay, come on.
Congratulations, RoboCop.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's not the first time that I'm... okay. Ooh, reset. Okay, we're back.
We're in here.
That crash is very rare, actually. Right. I remember that actually killed one of the best attempts I ever had running this game. My only ever run that was like in real contention for finishing sub 29. Please do not look at the timer. Please do not tell me what the timer is. Oh yeah, but this section, early into playing it, you know, the main objective is like help the police here. That's actually not the main objective. You can just walk straight past them.
Thanks, RoboCop.
Yeah, they're there to provide cover for me, and then I just abandon them. It's incredible. Here again, person in that room, just guarding. Okay, great, awesome. Please open the door again. Thank you. Okay, and this is the section where the audio gets especially awful. So protect your ears, and if anyone has their hands on the sliders, feel free to decrease when necessary.
The problem with the last level of this game, in my opinion, is they already overplayed their hand halfway through the game. They're like, we've got blue ball robo demons that will melt your face immediately. There's a million dudes in every corner. How do you elevate that? How do you really take that to 11 when you're already at 11? And they do go to 12, kind of. And they should not have gone to 12.
Yeah, I agree.
Even Spinal Tap stopped at 11. There's a reason.
So, the game is being especially mean to me today. I have to just call it like I see him.
Sure.
Yeah. So yeah, in that section, yeah, that's when there are a lot of turrets in the ceiling. Again, they don't do an incredible amount of damage to you. It's very much limited to kind of a per frame thing, because they don't fire explosions or anything of the sort. But they just make a horrendous noise, and they make a lot of it. This guy, I'm just kind of stun locking him because he is not. Oh my god, I'm so.
This time it is electronically locked.
Yeah, because as soon as you kill everyone in the room, presumably by magic, just oh my god, an ID card spawns in the middle of the room. I'm sorry if I don't talk as much. It's hard to think with this noise.
It's literally Zelda logic, dude. Kill everything and
I'm
item
sorry.
spawns. There we go.
This game is really throwing me off, right?
I'm just so you know, I'm watching the stream on mute, so I'm having a great time.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're calm and serene over here.
Yeah.
Have to destroy that one. So there is a whole lot of opposition here.
Yeah,
Again,
it's insane.
they usually really don't do too much damage to you. It's just, yeah, these robots that you really have to watch out for. But all in all, yeah, it's you can definitely still, you know, face death by 1,000 cuts.
Isn't there like a more hardcore version of the blue ball demon coming up? Like there's
I have to apologize. At this point, I literally cannot hear you.
Yeah, no, that's good. I am speaking in a low sultry tone. It's really just an assault on all the senses, this game.
Yeah.
It's like if you want to crank the stimuli on all 5 senses, play RoboCop.
Oh my god. Okay. I promise both to you and myself we are close to the end.
I believe you. You got it.
I've picked up the final key cards. Now we can go into here. And now,
Yeah.
if you believe it, this is the most bullshit section of the game. There is more bullshit in wait.
That's pretty
So-
great. Like, I would consider that last level to be quite a gauntlet.
Yeah.
This is just a very strange final fight.
It's very strange indeed. There's my rocket launcher. Okay, so after all that we've been through so far, finally there's just a big boss battle. That's, I mean, honestly, I kind of have to just let you see the introduction to it. It's okay, like big control room and everything. Okay, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? Then this robot appears. Okay, so I guess we're fighting him, right? You know, just kind of a ninja move or whatever. Okay, big robot snake growls at us, then grabs the robot. I'm already confused. Okay, so what now? They go away. Okay, interesting. But then it appears out of the wall and does the attack that I do not want it to do. So as you might be able to see, I do. There's a bit of like a manipulation with like my positioning in terms of trying to encourage the robot to both spawn somewhere and then do a specific type of attack that I want it to do. But just like a lot of things in science, this is purely theoretical. Like there's no, you know, looking into the code or anything to see how this functions. This is genuinely just, you know, you just keep throwing crap at the wall and just see what sticks. And this has stuck mostly. So I kind of just, I lead him into a circle around the room and hope that he exposes those like little turrets things, those little laser turrets, because that is how we actually progress in the fight. So this big snake has like, I think 5 or so attacks that it can do, and only one of them actually progresses the fight in any way. My personal opinion, that is fantastic game design. I love that. So let's see, there we go. Okay, we only had 2 duds this fight, if that is the end of it, which I very much hope it is. No, it's not. So, okay, let's see if he spawns now here. Okay, so that's gonna be a dud. That's my bad. I could have read his, animations a little better there. So as you can see, like all of the turrets are like spaced out across the snake's body in like, you know, specific way. And with very perfect aim, you can take out, you know, 2 of those turrets with every rocket. But yeah, sadly, I was not completely able to do that the whole time. And now, when the fight is finally over, we walk around a room and try to guess a code. I don't know how this game became what it is. So yeah, as you can see, I really just do walk around the room and just guess at codes. So okay, that was so it's 4-3. I do have to try to remember these because yeah, there are 6 boxes with 6 codes. So yeah, 4-3-5.
It's such a weird finale.
It's so weird. Like, how does someone come up with this?
Like, you just did not need the codes at all. It was just ended the fight, like every other game that's ever been made.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. It's 4-3-5. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, this is, you know, it's a real way to kind of shoot down your own climactic ending. It's just a bunch of walking around.
The hidden switches, yeah, there you go.
And then it's finally time.
It's the end of the game.
I'm so sorry.
How do we feel? Do we feel like we completed a speedrun of a video game?
By definition.
It's true.
By definition, we did.
Open up the book, and there it is. But does the spirit feel... Yeah, very good.
So, I'm sorry for giving this game to you all today. I hope you enjoyed. Yeah.
Impossible not to.
So, if you have a further interest in this game, God, I'm so sorry. We've got a speedrun.com page set up. I've actually posted a tutorial. It is 3 years old, but I mean, it's
You're the first one to play the game in 3 years, so like,
yeah.
Might as well have made it yesterday.
I think we've all seen the reason why no one's touched this thing in 3 years. It's it's a real mood, but it's best watched from behind a screen. It's
a really cursed vibe. It's like the video game they play in the back rooms, you know?
Yeah. So thank you all so much for joining me. Thank you so much for having me. And yeah, have a great rest of your day.
Oh my God.
What's next, Conception?
Yes, first of all, thank you both for putting on that incredible showcase of a video game, for sure. We appreciate it. That was hilarious and fun and just a really good time. We do have another run coming up next. That one is going to be Cyberia. But before we do that, we are going to take a little bit of a break here. So feel free to get up, stretch, maybe take a look around your house for some key cards, and we will be back in just a few short moments. And welcome back to Awfully Silly, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that run of RoboCop 2003 as much as I did. That was incredible. I love a good silly FPS speedrun, and I love a good silly sci-fi environment, which is what we're doing here today. Before we jump into our next run of Cyberia, I want to remind everyone as well, if you happen to be watching this on YouTube, be sure to press the like button on this video and subscribe to the channel. And also come on over to twitch.tv/GamesDoneQuick if you're interested in looking at our live content. That's going to start most weeknights at 7 p.m. Eastern and weekends at 1 p.m. Eastern. So be over here. But without further ado, it is time to jump into our second sci-fi run of the evening, which is the PS1/DOS/ whatever you want to play it on classic, of course, Cyberia, Cyberia, and it's going to be run by Lifelike. Take it away.
All right, everybody. I am Lifelike, and I'm here to be doing a run of Cyberia. And normally, a speedrun is, the goal is to beat the game as quickly as possible by playing extremely well. But not for this run. This run, the goal is to beat the game as quickly as possible while also playing the game as poorly as possible, because I'm going to get every unique death animation that the game has to offer along the way.
Perfect.
Yay.
All right, so
Can't wait for this display of skill at
yes.
dying
All right, so I'm gonna go in here.
and see everything this game has to offer.
I do have to enter a username. I could try to put awfully silly, but that unfortunately would not fit in the character limit, so I'm just going to go with Hotfix.
That was going to be my
There we go.
suggestion. Perfect.
Okay, so I can select the difficulty for arcade and the difficulty for puzzle. In this case, I'm going to select 1 for arcade or easy, just because I'm less likely to die in the places that I don't actually want to die. And then I'll select medium for puzzle because it won't actually allow me to select easy for both of them. But that's fine because all the puzzle solutions that I actually have memorized are for medium. I'll go ahead and do that. And I will let the opening cutscene take us away. Oh, before I do that, I've got a couple of co-commentators. If you'd like to introduce yourselves.
Sure. Hello, my screen name is Covert Muffin. I've never speedrun this game, but I've watched every single time Lifelike has performed it, and I can't get enough of it. So I'm very excited for this. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, glad to have
And
you here.
I'm St. Million, and I've seen this game played, and that's all. And I'm here.
The word "played" is like a very strong word. I feel like in this
I've
context,
seen it
yeah,
played,
yeah.
so to speak.
Okay, but I think we're about ready to start, so we can go ahead and start the timer in 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome to Cyberia.
Welcome to Cyberia. Oh yeah, this is like a movie, by the way.
Yeah.
So get some popcorn. Look how cool he is.
Just going to adjust the volume a little bit on my end so I can actually hear what everyone else is saying.
Hey, Zach, how's the ride?
Sporty. And how about telling me what's up?
Always to the point, my man. All right, here's the sitch. You'll rendezvous with the rig in about 10 minutes.
The sitch.
Contact his Santos. There's a TF-22 prepped and ready.
I've never flown a TF-22.
Not to worry, you won't be flying this one. The auto nav is set to take you by optimum route to the Cyberia complex.
Trust is a wonderful thing.
I got you out of solitary, didn't I? Can't have you jetting around the globe instead of getting the job done, my man.
Just what is the job, Devlin?
Well, like I said, always to the point. All right, stand by. I'm going to shoot you some currents on the Cyberia project.
I still don't have top security clearance, but one of the science officers has started to tell me some things. They're making incredible advances in nanotechnology. I'm not sure, but I believe...
Sorry, as a chemist, that is just very funny to me.
Incredible advances.
Message about the project.
Yeah, sometimes
I also appreciate how the sunglass visors are easier to see than the surrounding around the rim, right? It's like...
I know the assistant suspects, but I'm not really much in today. Security very tight. One of the technicians...
Sometimes I'll watch a run and I'm not sure if it's a good fit for this show. In this time, it was not the case. Like, I didn't even need to get through this first cutscene to be like, oh, this is it. Yeah.
You're like, all right,
yeah.
Where's Lifelike at?
Yeah, exactly.
I'll be gone by 0400 hours.
Get him in here.
Don't let the team show...
We'll just do the second one after this as well.
I knew that would grab your attention. So that's it. Infiltrate the complex and find the Cyberia weapon.
What do I do with it once I find it?
Okay, easy.
Well, I don't know. Keep it company. There's a cleanup team 24 hours behind you. All right?
And truly, this is the hairstyle of the future.
2027. Well, we're getting there.
Yeah, so this was came out in 1994 and it was supposed to be 30 years in the future.
I mean, it looks pretty accurate.
Yeah, there's nothing too crazy yet.
That's what my parking lot looks like.
Yeah, I parked my boat as well.
My ship boat thing.
That's how I get to work.
Barge.
All right, so this is all unique deaths, and we start out pretty strong.
Report to my office immediately. Take the door on the right. And don't
So you're going to find the Cyberia project.
Oh, hey, here's a weird barrel. I'm going to stick my hand in it.
Okay.
I'm going to stick my hand in it again.
Whoa!
All right, we've already died once.
Game over.
Buckle up, chat. You're going to be seeing this a lot.
Yeah, you're going to get used to that game over screen real quick.
Yeah.
We just...
Whoops.
Oh my god.
Who left an oil spill right there? Can I also point out the weirdly skin-colored
yeah,
bodysuit that this guy is wearing?
You're gonna want to stay away from that oil.
I went for it again.
He's just unconscious.
I really like the fool me once mentality that this seems to have.
Yes. Let me try that again.
I'll let you do it exactly one time, or you get punished.
It's the tutorial.
All right, we'll try the elevator this time. I know that guy on the radio is telling me to take the door on the right and not look around, but I like looking around.
Yeah. It's an exploratory game.
It really is. And I mean, what's the worst that could happen?
What are those? They had like holes right above the nipple.
Report to my office immediately.
Okay. He wants me to
Just
take the door on
standing
the
at the
right.
elevator.
I'll take the door on the right.
All right. Moving at breakneck speeds.
Turn around, nice.
Oh, no.
Didn't even give you an option.
She told me to turn around.
Turn around nice. Bang.
You didn't turn around nice enough.
I said nice. AA battery.
Is this how you greet all your new arrivals?
Only if they have a weapon.
Gia,
Looks like one of my favorite animations in the game is coming up right here.
Come on. I'll take you to see Santos. We're under attack. Come on, follow me.
Just absolutely no reaction except the screen starts shaking up and down.
Oh my god. Oh my god, he looks so weird. He's got paint on abs.
And so this is sort of the first action sequence of the game, where I have to shoot down a whole bunch of planes and helicopters and things that are trying to destroy this oil rig or whatever it is.
Oh, you got them. Oh.
So the really weird thing, a couple of really weird things about this sequence. There are several sequences like this. This is the only one where I cannot use the mouse. I can only use the arrow keys to aim, which is really annoying.
It'd make it too easy.
Oh, jeez.
This is also the only one where the enemy spawns, like where they spawn, when they spawn, and how many of them spawn are entirely random.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I could get just absolutely swarmed by things all at once, or I could go like a full minute with just nothing whatsoever happening.
We're under attack. They're gone for a minute.
This might look a little weird that I'm just kind of staring up at the sky right here, but most of the flying things will spawn up here where I'm already sort of aiming. So I'm just trying to look pretty high up and roughly in the center, and you can tell that by the lines on the top and left of the screen where exactly I'm aiming in my possible field of view.
Nice kill.
There's also a whole bunch of stuff going on the bottom of the screen. Like on the left side is that radar that gives me a rough idea of where something spawned. If it's a dark gray dot, that's a thing that's flying. If it's a light gray dot, that's going to be a mine in the water.
I think that's official military standards.
And then there's a bunch of stuff along the bottom. The two kind of orange bars, that's like my ammo, and you can see that draining as I fire. And it'll regenerate after that.
You also got a little Logitech webcam kind of looking at you.
The radar's the Wi-Fi symbol.
Are there any unique deaths in this segment?
There are not.
Dang.
Yeah, it's sort of weird, some of the things that I consider unique deaths, in the sense that the death I would get by failing this part is the same as one I'll actually get later on that I consider a unique death. But of course, dying here would put me back to the beginning of this whole sequence, and that would be a lot slower.
Oh, interesting. Right.
But it is a death animation worth seeing because it's quite impressive.
Yeah, and so these sequences here are why Lifelike is running on the quote-unquote easiest difficulty, just because if he takes a death at any point later on in one of these segments, he has to redo the entire thing over again. So it like minutes and minutes and minutes of this.
Yeah, there are a lot of action sequences too. And I use action with like 10 quotation marks.
Yeah.
Watch it.
As you can see.
Oh,
I like that she chimes in and gives you a little comment every once in a while.
Yeah, that was a nice little swarm there. Okay, we did it.
Amazing.
Woo!
Kiss me.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, all right.
He's a cool guy.
And I like this thing. What?
What?
That's Sinbad.
Get him. Right, boss.
Oh.
It's just a hand coming
Where'd
in
that
from
come
off
from?
screen.
No, you're awake. No, you
Okay,
struggling.
so that wasn't actually a death, they just captured me.
Maybe we can talk about
However, if I try to break out of these restraints while he's interrogating me,
Oh, the old one too.
okay, but one thing other people that have seen the Game Informer playthrough of this wouldn't know is that when she offers to kiss, if you press backwards, he refuses. And then we don't get captured and interrogated.
Oh, playing hard to get.
What?
All right, we're getting out of here. Take the lift to the hangar and prepare to take off immediately.
I was still expecting the little hand to come zap him. It's the floating hand.
Right,
He's
but,
got a little backpack.
you know, I don't think it ever comes up.
Oh, wow.
Right, but so for the story at this point, we're on some mission to go to a facility to locate the Cyberia weapon. And we're supposed to get there by going to this oil rig or whatever this is and taking a
Watch out
plane.
for that oil.
And taking a plane that's going to automatically fly us to that facility. You'd think since they know that I'm going to be here and they're going to give me the plane that they would just let me have the plane. But now we have to go through that whole defend the place sequence before they'll actually let me take it.
Come on, let's go.
So now this guy doesn't shoot me as soon as I come up the elevator.
Oh, that's nice.
Right, but here's the plane. I could just get in the plane, but this is a game about exploring, and I like to look around. So I'm gonna see where I can go on this platform here.
Okay.
Nothing could possibly go wrong. Oh no.
Oh, ow! Bong.
Okay. We'll
Hit his chin.
We'll take another look at the plane. No, what could this be?
Oh wow.
Well, it's got numbers counting down. I guess I'll start hitting buttons. Now, they're supposed to just be giving me this plane. I don't know why they put a bomb on it that I am supposed to disarm. Okay. But that explosion is actually the same death animation we would have gotten if I had died in the turret. So a lot better to get it there instead.
Forgot to take the bomb off. It's an anti-theft measure.
Yeah.
Don't press the wrong button. It's very easy.
And it just takes out the whole oil rig when it goes too.
Entire place blows up. Level 1 complete.
All right, more exposition.
Still alive?
Just how hot is this thing?
The cartel wants it pretty bad. They know we have the Cyberia files, but I thought that if I sent you in alone, we could avoid all of this crap.
Yeah? Well, it looks like they're laying out the welcome map.
Indeed. TAC-scan shows a lot of cartel activity on your route to the complex. Your onboard fire control system should be able to handle it.
Machine faith, Devlin?
Trust is a wonderful thing, remember?
Right.
Woody banter.
All right, so
that's what we call
plane
character development.
This plane is supposed to just automatically fly us to the destination, but there's going to be a whole bunch of things that I have to shoot along the way. And unfortunately, this entire sequence is an auto-scroller, and there's absolutely nothing I can do to speed it up, but I can take a little time here to explain the mechanics. And just a second here, it's going to actually give me control. There's going to be a bunch of enemies that spawn. Their hitboxes don't actually become real until the little yellow box appears around them. So, there are a lot of enemies I could shoot early, but I just won't do anything because they don't actually exist until that yellow box is there. Then there's this meter on the right. This is my health, or rather the shields of the plane. That'll deplete as I get hit, but it'll regenerate over time. Which means that this game actually pioneered regenerating shields about 10 years before Halo came out.
You're 2 for 2 on Halo references tonight.
Let's go.
If we can somehow work it into Mushroom. Mushroom Man.
Halo Man.
That's what the main character is called, right? Halo Man.
Yeah, there we go.
And so apart from that, there's also the main meter on the top left here. That one is ammo for my gun. You can see that depletes as I'm firing. That'll also regenerate when I'm not firing. Also, just take a moment to appreciate the music that plays during this first action sequence.
The wailing guitar over and over. I don't see what's so silly about this game. It looks awesome. And look at this. Original soundtrack.
Alright, so that's the first of the auto-scroller sequences. There's going to be several more, and it's going to take a little while.
The same explosion.
It might actually be
like
the
in
exact
front
same
of the
explosion.
Shields at maximum. Navigation system.
Alright, but one interesting thing about this game is that the manual that comes with it has a lot of the game's backstory and lore. And I believe, Saint, you said you had a copy of that. If you might like to give us some of the main character's thoughts.
Yeah, so
And just before he begins, the main character's name is Zach, and that is spelled Z-A-K-K. Because this is 1993 and we're cool.
It's cool. It's unquestionably cool. So this is background. This is Zach's diary on May 17th. So 2 days from now, actually. These things are going to be happening. Start from the beginning. That's the hard way. It's always easier to start from the end and back up. Retreat. That's the easy way. But I don't do things the easy way, so I won't tell the story the easy way. The beginning was about 2010, maybe earlier, I don't remember. I was born, and some people say they remember being born, but I don't. I was brought up, and I should remember more of that than I do now. Never mind why. Maybe I could explain, maybe later I will. There were apartments. There were apartments, schools, houses, people who called themselves aunts and uncles, people who didn't. There were people who might have been a family. They're the hardest to remember. Oh my God, there's a lot. Some years back, couldn't be too many. How old am I after all? I'm probably still a teen-ager, what they said in the old video cassettes. Anyway, my memory starts to burn out about them. Scooting through dark alleys into abandoned basements, I can remember from then on. Probably be better if I remembered the first part, but forgot the later years. Not my choice, though. None of it's anything anyone would be glad to remember. I've done old video cassettes. I've seen some library books. I'd be very glad for some of those memories. The lemonade under the shade trees, the ruby sunsets. So glad to see red in the west like rubies, but not like blood. Nothing's glad anymore. Dang. But I need to get back to my story. We were in the basements, crawling the wires, grabbing tubes and boxes, hooking wires to boards, boards to wires, things to things. Some of us knew some things, others knew other things. Things. That's the whole sentence, by the way.
The entire sentence is just the word things.
Grab a bill of lading from Taipei to San Francisco. grab a purchase order from Houston to San Francisco, land out with a wild shipment to our neighborhood. What? I got my blades that way. In all capitals, blades.
Yeah, that's the name for the special glasses that he's wearing as blades.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's so cool. Grabbing things and landing them out. What? Grabbing things and landing them out. Grabbing the third world and the first world, period. What were we? Maybe the sixth world? It worked for us. We were glad. Worlds 1 through 5, however, they hadn't worked for us. We hadn't worked for them. Finally, we had a world that worked. World 6 worked fine for years. Maybe 3, maybe 4. We got what we wanted. Got most of what we needed. Didn't hurt anybody who couldn't take the hurt easy. We were sitting on top of the world, like the old songs say. Strange you think about it. I don't remember anybody else doing old songs, library books, only me. Of course, Caro did wall-hanging things, like frozen videos, called them oil paintings. We couldn't see any oil on them, so maybe that was like me and the songs in the books. Then there was Arla. She did old music that didn't have songs in it. Zach, she said, you don't always have to sing along. You can let it go by itself. And we were all sitting on top of the world. Except we weren't on top. We were on the bottom, in the abandoned basements with the junction boxes, and we were shiny and glad. But the other worlds were big and mean, and the glad didn't last. I miss Arla. I hope she wasn't wrong. I guess I'll never know.
Whoa.
That's one journal entry.
Yeah. By the way, chat, there's like 4 pages of this.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's 3 more, 5 more.
Oh my god.
Wait, there's 6 more. Do you want me to just keep going with this?
There's not a whole lot for me to talk about in these sections, so if you want to.
Yeah, please.
All right. May 18th. The next day.
And can I just point out, this game is set in 2027, so we're only 4 years away from all of these things happening.
Yeah, so mark your books, the 6th world.
Yeah, from World 6 coming in.
Yeah, oil paintings, don't know what they're all about. All right, the 18th. I looked over the words I cut last night. And wait, what? I looked over the words I cut last night, and I said, Zach, you're not blindingly cohesive. Not hard to understand. 2 days in the Pentagon, nothing to grab, wake up, eat, walk the corridors clockwise, eat, sleep or don't. While you can't sleep, there's the net to cut words into. Oh, I see. It's typing. First night, I wanted to break the net box. I wanted to break it all, but cooler heads prevailed. Cooler heads prevailed? Where did I hear that? Some 20th century video cassette, probably. There weren't any heads but my own, and that one wasn't so cool. But I must have had enough sense not to break the place I was going to spend the rest of my life. My life. I cut the words last night, and they're cut and burned, and I can't get them back. So I'm cutting words for the ages, or at least for the FWA, the Free World Alliance.
Is he like revising the Merriam-Webster dictionary or something?
Yeah, he's cutting words for the ages, and he's not getting them back. A name that might be made... Okay, so the Free World Alliance. A name that might be made more accurate, and I'll try to make what I say understandable to young and old. Young and old. Where did that come from? Burt Lancaster and Gina Lala? Are these any circuses anymore? What? I feel crazier reading this. Not in the corridors of the Pentagon, but I'm cutting words. They used to call it writing. Oh, okay. For the ages. Maybe just for William Devlin. Mr. Devlin, sir, but I pretend the words will last. The story goes pervasive. Century 21 meets Winnie the Pooh. Not Mr. Toad, of course. Mr. Devlin. Perish forbid. Oh no. Zach, your tame 6th worlder is completely, absolutely, indubitably under your control. Nothing will break. Everything will be glad again. You know none of this can leak back to the 6th world, maybe 7th by now, or you wouldn't let me cut the words. They're for the ages.
Just for a little bit of context, the Mr. Devlin he's talking about is the double ponytail guy.
Ah, okay.
The next day, the 19th. Woke up early this morning, signed on, looked at the words I cut last night and the night before. What's happening to me? Tried cutting some words before breakfast. I might have half an hour. My theory. I feel fine, never better, no problems there. I could do push-ups with my left hand while I'm cutting words with my right. Not likely for a net felon locked in the Pentagon to feel so good. I think, bizarro. I'm okay now, but the words I cut last 2 nights were clearly not cool-headed, not clear-headed. Conclusion. Dope. Kindly, Mr. Devlin and the FWA are building my body and breaking my brain. Steroids. Hallucinogenics. Wish I knew, old Caro could tell. Caro.
Hang on, I'm going to interrupt you for just a second here. So normally I don't do any deaths in this playing sequence because they're not really all that unique, but there's a good opportunity to do one right here and just show why. So this is a very fast level. The enemies all highlight with yellow boxes, but friendlies highlight blue. If you shoot them, there's a very quick explosion, and then you're back at the start. And that's all that happens if you die in one of these sequences.
And you could be very far along in these sequences, die quickly, and then you just see this screen, and you're like, oh god.
Yeah.
I have to redo it all.
Right.
Yeah, conclusion, dope, exactly.
Have to cut even more words. Dear God.
Yeah, I'm trying to cut words here.
Okay, carry on.
Those just joining, we're reading the diary of the main character, which is in the instruction manual during these auto-scrollers. Okay. Zach was referring to Caro. Caro would have had the sense to say, Zach, you cut your nice theory flat into the net. For half an hour, you couldn't unhook your fingers from the part of your brain you found in the morning light? Right, Caro, you're right. Erase today. Breakfast's coming. And network reinstate. He's like, he's cutting his words into the net. Alright, the next day. The 20th. May 20th. Nothing tonight or last night. Waiting for more cooler heads to show up. Then maybe we can all prevail. Like a tree that stands before the water. What? Where's Caro? Where's Arla? Daddy said a friend's better than a password. Huh? Hard to believe Daddy was right, even one time. But he had held some good songs on those big black vinyl discs. Stone cold dead in the market, Daddy hit the streets. The market, the bricks, the riot cops. I hit the tunnels, the basements, the cables. Daddy, I still hold the songs. Delia's gone, one more round. Arla's gone, I thought. It's dope, yeah, it must be dope. But I miss the people. I miss Daddy, he's dead. I miss Caro and Arla. They're probably dead. But that won't keep me from missing them. And I miss my blades. Maybe more than the people. And that's a bizarro thought. But I miss my blades. All in caps.
But he just said having a friend is better than a password, so how is he going to keep cutting words?
Friends better? Yeah, that's true. He contradicted himself. May 24th. Sitting down here in Pentagon Farm. No cooler heads here yet. I think cooler heads, he's referring to like other hackers or something.
Oh.
Okay.
I think. Getting ready to break things here, boss. Only glad thing is I can still cut words. No, they can't take that away from me, but they could. And I don't know why they don't. What do they? What does Mr. Devlin have me here for? Oh, Mr. Devlin broke him out of this place. What do they want me to do? In quotes, you got me doing what you wanna, baby, what you want me to do? I think he's singing.
I hope so.
I don't know.
That's the end of his diaries.
Yep.
Conclusion, dope.
Conclusion, dope.
All that lore to end with basically a song lyric.
Got me what you wanna, baby.
This just gives like so much more depth to like why we're running the category that we're running. Like maybe along the lines there was just like he just cut too deep, man. Right? He cut those words too deep.
He cut too many words. And that's how he got caught.
Yeah.
Pentagon Farm.
That's how he lost his blades.
I lost my blades. I miss my blades. Well, now that he's got his blades back, he's causing problems.
that all of those diary entries happen like right before the start of the game, and that Mr. Devlin breaks you out, gives you your blades back, and sends you on this mission to go find the Cyberia weapon.
Weapons control interference. Clearing.
Right, but on the bright side, this is the last part of the auto-scroller, so we're almost back to actually being in control of what's happening.
Perfect. Can I ask you a couple of questions about this game, Lifelike?
Sure.
First question. Is there an all-unique deaths run for Cyberia 2 Resurrection?
So far, there is not.
Oh, okay.
Entering hover mode.
Potential for routing.
Potential. It has some of the same problems that this game does, in the sense that, well, I mean, it's Cyberia 2, but it also opens with about 19 minutes of auto-scrollers, and that's just how the game starts.
Oh. That's a lot of diary reading. Is this game hard to get running on modern PCs?
I haven't had any troubles with it. I picked it up on good old games, and just runs on DOSBox.
Nice.
Right, we get a little bit more exposition from Mr. Devlin now.
Finally.
We've been monitoring your progress. Pretty impressive, Zach. Sorry about the weapons glitch.
Target practice.
Yeah. Here's the sitch. Recon shows that cartel forces haven't been able to penetrate to the Cyberia weapons level yet. In fact, it appears from some of the transmissions we've intercepted that they've lost quite a few of their operatives.
Lost? How?
That's not clear, but it looks like there's some kind of infection or contamination in the complex.
Great.
Good old braid
Make sure
pat.
you've got protection.
I'm going to kill that bastard.
All right, so now I'm wandering around in the cold. I have a choice right here. Do I go left or do I go right?
Just a Wampa appears.
I'm going to try going left.
Surely
I don't
this
know,
is the correct path.
Last time you went left.
That's true. The guy did tell me to take the door on the right, and I didn't listen.
Maybe life's all about taking that door. This is a long walk.
But you know what? I changed my mind. I'm going to take the path to the right.
You trickster. Insert Boulevard of Broken Dreams here. So the blades are his goggles?
Right.
Is that what it is? Okay.
I also saw somebody asking in the chat earlier during those auto-scrollers if I was playing on joystick, and no, I'm just playing with keyboard and mouse.
Oh, man. Joystick, that brings it back.
This did come out on PlayStation 1 and I think Saturn.
Yep, that sounds right. And I can't imagine trying to play this on a D-pad, because if this was before actual analog control worked on PlayStation 1 controllers.
Whoa.
Yeah, the aiming is way slower.
Interesting.
Or just more difficult.
Whoa, slice-o-matic.
All right.
Slice-o-matic.
So I thought the right was going to be easier, but this fan just looks like trouble waiting to happen. I'm going back. I'm going to the left again.
Well, no, that's fine. Go talk to the fan. Real close.
I don't want to tempt fate with the fan.
It might be fun and cool.
Yeah, I think the left path's going to be better. Oh no, I froze to death.
Oh my. Oh, just spent too long out here.
Alright, so I wasn't actually indecisive. Okay. That is about the fastest way to get that death.
Wow. He was just kind of cold.
Slice-o-matic.
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 Oh, hey, actually nothing happened with the fan.
Whoa. Oh, it was fine.
That is the biggest misdirection.
Yeah, I subverted my expectation.
Yeah, it's just a weird noise in this room. You guys hear that? And it's probably nothing, right? And what could this noise possibly do? Oh, it could kill me.
What?
Just the noise kills me.
What?
Okay,
The brown
this,
note.
this fan made a promise, and I can't go back on that promise.
Okay. Oh! See, it was just fine.
Okay.
Conclusion.
Man, yeah, talk about cutting words there. Jeez.
Yes.
That's how you
He
cut in
cut
all
his last
caps.
word. He got the blades.
All right, we got a nice little shootout here.
Okay.
He's kind enough to just stand there.
Wow, great accuracy.
He's got a confusing pattern.
Okay, that was not an intentional death. The timing is a little bit tighter than it might seem. Luckily, there's sort of a checkpoint right there, so it's not too bad. Yeah, it was a little early.
Now you're getting to see what the game would be like if you were just like trying to pass a part of the game.
Yep.
It's bwong. Game over.
Ah,
What?
This game does also kind of drop input sometimes, so that's also a factor.
oh, fun.
I like this guy's approach to the fight. Just stand in the open and shoot rhythmically.
Yep.
That's future tactics.
Okay, I did actually practice this part, but I'm just getting way off now.
That's how they train them in the future army. In, what was it, 3 years?
Yeah, 3 or 4 years.
2027.
Future army where we have space bases. Oh,
Okay, I'm going to be mashing that fire button a little bit harder now.
would it help you if I read some memo faxes from the manual?
Sure.
No offenses.
Okay. This one's from Devlin to McGuire. Keep a watch on the new inmates, Pete. Nice job. Hey, nice job. Oh,
It was not planned.
I was just expecting credits to pop up on that screen.
Yeah, well, I got past that part. This is one of my favorite
Right.
deaths coming up here in just a moment. As we got this little keypad right here.
Any
And
guesses?
I'm going to start with this button.
Chat.
Okay. But at least it doesn't make me deal with that guard again.
That's nice. Yeah, this game's pretty generous with checkpoints because there are a lot of these deaths in the game.
Yeah. There's only one like bad checkpoint, but that's not for a little while yet. All right, so I'm inside, and well, this door's locked. But there's another keypad. What do you guys think the code might be?
1, 2, 3, 4.
The same combination I would have in my luggage.
It turns out it was not 1, 2, 3, 4.
Blue light of death.
What would you have done if we had like guessed correctly the first time? Magically there.
It's like,
I'm gonna try a different one.
It's like the bird with all the index cards. I don't know. And you're not seeing the normal puzzle gameplay, but Zach has like 3 different scan modes on these puzzle panels that you're supposed to kind of figure out context clues of what the code could be.
And so like anytime it goes into this first person view, that's looking through the blades.
Yeah, on the bottom left are all the scan types. But all the puzzles are the same.
Yeah. So seems like so far there's nobody in here, so I'm just gonna try running down the end of this hallway, and I'm sure nothing bad's going to happen.
He's just running now.
Just running in. No.
No. Oh. Nice.
I don't know why that's the only like slow motion death in the entire game.
Yeah,
but there it is.
It didn't feel like real slow motion. It just felt like he felt like falling slowly.
Yeah.
All right, so going that way is not great. What if I go this way? Just walk into this corner, because why wouldn't you just walk into this corner and then obviously you can push this box.
It's like Zelda.
Yeah.
Tomb Raider.
And then I can press to the left 3 times in order to make him actually turn towards the wall, which is a door, even though there's nothing to make you think that there's a door there. And take the world's safest elevator.
What is this elevator? OSHA's gonna hear about this.
No, there's no OSHA in 2027.
Oh, right.
There's there's a guard on the other side of that door. I'm gonna go over here.
Probably shouldn't go out there. Oh!
Well, he didn't like that.
Sneaky.
Okay, well, I guess we're gonna have to deal with the guys in this room first. Alright, so this is the first shootout that's entirely random. Or almost entirely random.
Ah.
They actually gave me the perfect pattern there. I just shot towards the last guy a little too early. So you have to take out those first 2 guys before you can do anything else. And sometimes the guy on the right just fires really fast and you die, and there's nothing you can do about that.
Wow.
Yikes.
So
Are these
ideally-
parts different? Sorry. These parts different on higher difficulty?
I don't think so. Oh, I should check something in that room again.
Yeah, you want to make sure you don't.
Still dead?
Okay, they are still dead.
Got him.
Okay, well, that guy's not going to shoot me in the back again. I'm going to go this way. And there are a whole bunch of different rooms along this hallway that you can go into, and there's a bunch of computers you can go to that have like video logs and things that just give you lore and backstory and hints towards various puzzles that are coming up. Luckily, the puzzle solutions are always the same as long as you pick the same difficulty, so I don't need to do anything with that. I'm going to go in here. I'm going to walk towards the screen, and that guy is telepathic because he could see and shoot me through the wall.
Whoa, that happened so fast.
Wow.
I didn't even barely see it. But he did turn and shoot.
Yep.
Which seems to also
Just
be
like that.
related to the weapon's newfound sentience.
Oh my god.
Which
It's like a shotgun that shoots like 30 shells.
Which seems to also
Screw
be related
the
to
Cyberia
weapon's
weapon.
newfound
We need that
sentience.
guy.
In conclusion,
Whatever that thing is, doesn't matter.
The potential of
Only
the
you have that.
Cyberia weapon is virtually limitless. However, the fundamental lack of boundaries this potential brings makes this project extremely difficult to control. But even if we can't find a way to control and harness this entity, then surely the spin-off technologies from our research will have justified the time and costs required for this project.
Chat asks how many deaths are in this run. Unique deaths.
Right.
So the count that I'm using currently has 24.
Okay.
That was not one of them. So that's a really unfortunate one to get because it puts me back here and we have to listen to them talk again.
Which seems to also be related to the weapon's newfound
Sort of one of the strange things about this game is these like on-foot shootouts are extremely random because when the enemies fire is completely random. The only one that's not is that guy out on the snow who's firing like every 1 second exactly.
Then surely the spin-off technologies from our research will have justified the time and costs required for this project. Thank you.
So, I don't really have like a setup that works specifically for these. I just have to play it correctly. He was getting back up really fast there. He usually hides behind the table for a second first. Yeah, we dealt with that guy. And now I get to go down to the end of this hallway.
Oh my god, what's gonna happen next?
There's a door on the left there. I can't do anything with that door just now. But there's a door on the right at the end here. I'll go in there. I'm going to go to this computer. And normally there's a puzzle for this computer where you're supposed to find hints to the password. Luckily, I just know what the password is. That is Einstein. And then I don't actually have to do anything in that computer. I just have to have unlocked it and then I can leave. And now that I've done that, when I go back out into this hallway, I'm just going to go this way. And
Uh-oh, flash grenade.
uh-oh, flash grenade.
Uh-oh.
I appreciate lifelike that you've said things like usually that guy is slower to stand up by a second, because it just shows us that you have indeed played this game a lot and had to experience these things a lot.
Wow. I played this game more than anybody should play Cyberia. Man, that is one powerful grenade. The explosion just completely disintegrates me down the hallway.
Also, yeah, not a flash grenade, but I guess in 3 years the definition could change.
Nice, that ignored one of my inputs and I'm running down the hallway again. I was supposed to turn to the right.
See it twice.
Yeah, you just completely sublimated. Dear goodness.
It's an effective grenade.
Screw cutting words. Let's explode words.
You have to shoot this guy really fast so that when he drops the grenade, it's inside the room and doesn't fall out into the hallway with you. And like I mentioned before, sometimes this game just drops your inputs. So I'm going to be mashing that fire button. Yeah, that time I got it. Okay. So normally when I put in the password to that computer, I can find a file in there that tells me the code to close that door so that the grenade doesn't kill me. But I have to ask, what was the point of everything I just did in here? Because, I mean, that was the end of that hallway. There wasn't really anything there. I just got into that computer and then that guy tried to kill me with a grenade. And that's really all I can do
process.
Here. If you remember that guard on the other side of the red door, when I go back there, he's not going to be there now.
Uh-oh.
And that was the entire point of everything I just did on the first floor of this facility. You have to kill every single guard so that one doesn't shoot you as soon as you try to go through that door.
Zach is relentless.
Alright, so you just gotta walk back there. Push this crate again.
Does it slide back? I
don't think the game actually lets you go to the other side of it. But also when I pushed it before, I died right after, and the checkpoint is before that, so it wouldn't have saved that.
The forklift elevator.
Yeah, but now I can look over here. Hey, that guard's not there anymore. So I'm sure I can just casually stroll through this room and nothing bad's going to happen, right?
Nope.
Warning.
Hey.
Halon system activated.
Hey, he's still not there. Alright. So this is the stealth section of the game. He's gonna wait for this guy to turn, but he's not looking at the window.
Ah.
Alright, and that does it for the stealth section of this game.
Nice.
I can see where Skyrim got it from.
Yeah, but we do have to deal with this guy, because if I run past this door, he'll pop out and shoot me in the back like that other one did.
Who the hell?
And again, this is random when he's hiding and when he's not hiding.
Got him.
Stock sound effect.
Alright. So now we go down a little bit farther in this hallway. And we get to this door, and do a quick dive to the side. Alright, this is the hard part, because I have to kill both of these guys. And for both of them, when they're standing or when they're crouching is random. And when they're shooting or not shooting is also random. So So ideally, I'm waiting for both of them to crouch so that I can uncrouch. And then I have to shoot one of them and crouch again before the other one kills me. Or if they're really kind to me, I can shoot one and then have time to aim at the other one. But if I die here, the checkpoint puts me back behind that red door and then I have to kill the other guy again, so I really don't want to die here if I can avoid it. Guy on the right.
Ah, dang.
I like how during that whole segment, Zach's not even like totally behind cover.
Yeah.
And they still can't hit him.
Yeah, it's like he's not even worried about taking a laser to the knee.
Skyrim copied that too.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I like how this guy has a gas button just for like a room. It's like a storage room.
Any word on the explosion?
Yeah, beautiful, huh?
Who the hell?
Who the?
Use the easy one, and I gotta go do the hard ones. Now, technically, it would be a little bit more optimal to do the other part of like the puzzle that's coming up before I go to these guys, but then I would lose a lot of time if I died here, so I'd like to get these guys out of the way first.
Uh-oh.
You got this. Jeez. These are some tight windows.
I'm so sorry, but all I can think of right now is the Oompa Loompa dance from Willy Wonka.
And it would be nice if there was like a pattern to these guys you could memorize, but there just isn't. Okay, one down.
Ooh, nice.
Okay.
Now it should be easy. Okay.
There you
Nice.
go.
That's good.
Okay, so now that I've done that, I get to go and do the actual puzzle part of this area, which involves a little bit of backtracking.
Graceful.
Yeah. Definitely is prancing a little bit.
I was just point out the movement mechanics of this game. I don't think I've talked about them. I don't have much control over Zach. I can only press left or right, which will rotate between the options of which ways I can go. And I can either press forward or back. And that's all the control I have. Alright, so good to go into here. Just gonna hit that
time to
vent
cut some
button,
words.
and that's all I gotta do. Yeah, I had to cut the words, open the vent.
So were you in a barracks of some sort?
Something like that. Like a research facility.
A research facility. Yeah, there are a lot of tilted cameras. CCTV angles.
Yeah, but the screen that I knocked down earlier does actually have a purpose. That's the only one you can actually knock down. There's 2 on this floor and 2 on the floor above, but you can't interact with any of the other ones, just that one. I don't know why they would think that you would try that. Okay, but I went into that room and I opened up a vent, which allows me to go in here and do this.
Peekaboo.
Gotcha.
Gotcha.
Oh.
Gotcha.
That's gotta be a sound clip.
I was just going to say the exact same thing. The
I want that to be
peekaboo.
my text message effect.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I don't know why I have to stop and look, like peek through that door before I go through it every single time, but it does that
double check.
every time. Yeah, the old, you guys still dead?
You guys still dead? He's that cool.
And considerate.
Yeah.
And so I had to do all that to get a key card that will let me into this room here on my left. If I get the key card and try to go directly to this door without doing the shootout, they will just kill me while I'm opening the door. Go in here and, yeah, that looks important. Never mind.
Whatever. Zach's bored. Just walking around. He's still dead.
Yeah, so I'm just going to wander through here, through these like weirdly black and white rooms.
Interlock opened. Interlock closed.
That door will get annoying real quick.
Entering contaminated area. Viral infection hazard.
Viral infection? Oh boy.
He's probably just sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
You should drink some water.
Ooh, that's a nice purple room.
Why is it so tilted? Oh, God.
No, I guess there's nothing to that area. Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, I guess I'm sleeping now too.
Nap time.
Alright, I guess I'll have to do this computer thingy.
I guess.
Yeah, go over it. So what I'm doing here is I'm like cleansing a sample of a virus. This is how that works, right?
Yeah, I mean,
you just shoot the virus.
That's what I did my independent research on in college.
Yeah, your turret class was very important. You're aiming. These little the Cheeto balls.
Oh, I see an ethanol. Nice. Got some methane floating around in there by the looks of it. Oh, see a water molecule. All right.
Man, science is cool. Dope. This game has it all. It has stealth, puzzles,
kissing,
romance options.
Yep.
Literal romance options.
Okay, so sort of the mechanic of this part has to do with the percentage in the top left. I think on easy, the easy arcade difficulty, I only have to keep it above 50% to succeed.
Contamination eliminated.
There really is no fail state there unless you don't get a high enough percent on like all 3 of the available samples. But then you just have to load a save, you don't automatically die, so there's no death animations for that.
I was really hoping the computer terminal would say, dope.
Dope. Dope. Good job.
Dope.
Interlock opened.
So we have like a cleansed sample of something, and that's going to inoculate us against this viral infection. Just have to go to this computer over here and select the sample that I cleansed, which was number 6.
Type.
I'm going to walk in here, and this is how inoculation works, right?
That's how I got my COVID booster.
Contamination eliminated.
Alright, so we made it into this room, and we're not going to die from the virus this time. I'm going to just pass on through, go through this door.
Oh, I forgot about that.
So it turns out the virus evolved, and it's now these things. That is actually the story.
Oh boy. Little slice of pizza flies on your face.
No, they're turning my friends into pizza.
Right, so I mentioned the computers have a bunch of lore and like information. This is what that looks like.
As you know, our experiment with self-directed nanotechnology was a disastrous success. The wee devils figured out how to gather up lab materials and build themselves into killing
It
machines.
was a disastrous success.
Disastrous success.
Alright, so now we get another action sequence with this little drone here called the Charlie. I'm sure that stands for something, but I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
So the mechanics with this is this big blue bar across the bottom is the total amount of energy that the drone has, which will be constantly depleting as it flies, and if I shoot. Should also mention that the fail state for this is that if any of the enemies in here survive at all, I die. So I can't miss even a single one of them, or else this happens. Alright, let's try that again. And also, did you know in this little mini screen that pops up here, you have control of the weapon?
Oh. Oh! Oh my god. That sounded like genuine pain.
Alright, we had to do this for real this time. So I can't miss a single one of these enemies. So I have to be really accurate with my shots, because if I'm just spamming shots, the drone runs out of energy and I also die. But there is like an AoE alternate attack I can use if one of them slips past me, and I have like a second to do that in order to save myself. But that also drains energy.
Is this the hardest action sequence in the game?
Yeah, it's pretty safe to say it's the hardest one. And some of these come at you really fast and don't give you much opportunity to actually fire at them. Some of them are pretty slow and it's fairly generous, but the hitboxes don't always work super well either. And just like the earlier sequences, they don't actually exist until the yellow targeting thing appears.
Yeah,
so I could try to. There are some I could try to shoot early because they're on screen. It just won't do anything.
It's pretty tough to like see where they are as well until the yellow comes out, because everything is like the same color palette.
Yeah.
This music is horrifying.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Suddenly it's a horror game. It's like watching drone racing. Our drones should be doing this in 3 years, right?
Totally. Nice to get a little break here.
Oh, hey, it's the elevator.
Yeah.
Forklift elevator. Remember this?
World's safest elevator.
Oh, it's like, remember all these always? Okay, pretty good.
Yeah, didn't have to resort to the panic button.
Good.
Yeah, the bombs take a bit of energy, so you don't want to use them too much.
And this is a sneaky one. Right at the top of the screen there, and
that
it's
probably
gone
gets a lot
almost
of people.
instantly.
Oh.
And that was the last one. So now I can just
Nice.
do this and not worry about it.
Nice job.
We got there.
Boom.
We got there. Now that does what, exactly?
Well, now that lets me go through this hallway.
Oh, right.
Now, how Zach actually knows that all of them are dead, I have no idea.
He probably...
Because the game said so.
Yeah, probably after killing the telepathic guy, he gained some sort of new sentient powers.
You got power up.
Right. Okay, so I'm actually going to use the blades here.
Oh, yes.
With its magnetic resonance imaging.
Dope.
So this is the only puzzle where I actually have to see what's happening.
Okay, you got... I hope everyone wrote that down.
Oddly enough, this is also the only puzzle that has no, like, fail state that kills you. You just need all of these to line up in the middle at the same time, like that.
Wow. That's their top secret lock?
What the hell?
And now we get some more exposition.
What is your form?
You speak?
Self-unit communicates, speaks with form. What is your form?
My form is human.
Yes, human. But what is form identification?
Oh, my name. I am Zach. Who are you?
Self-unit Scientists Project.
That's a hell of a name. Can you see me? Visual?
Self-unit sees Zach body. Zach body sees self-unit.
Zach, you there?
Yeah, I read you.
You made it, eh? I knew you were the right man for the job.
Devlin, this weapon, it's unbelievable. It's sentient.
Really? It's too bad then.
What?
That it's only going to be sentient for about another minute.
What are you talking about?
You got it backwards, Zach. That thing isn't the weapon. You are. Adios, pal.
A plot twist.
Devlin! Micronic thermonuclear device in Zach body. Device detonation threshold in 60-second time units.
Son of a bitch!
Zach body. Device detonation will cease all life functions.
We're both gonna die.
Zach body lives. Query. Self-unit lives?
You're more alive than most of the people I know.
There's a sick burn there, Zach.
Zach body
Nice.
can survive if merged with self-unit. Device detonation threshold in 30-second time units. Zach body will survive if merged with self.
Alright, so there's a bomb in our head that's going to explode in 30 seconds. So how was your guys' day, Ben?
Don't you hate it? I had a nickel.
Man, what a plot twist. I mean, all of the backstory with the diary entries really gave a lot of context between that character relationship between Devlin and Zach.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I want to read through it again, knowing this. One of those you gotta watch it. Oh my!
Alright, so that is the final unique death animation, but we have one more sequence to get through to finish the game. Okay, so it said we can survive.
So for that, you just waited.
Yep. So now to survive, we just have to merge with this thing, because that can totally happen just like this.
What is death? Life.
Where are you?
With you. With me.
Ooh, waffle fry.
How? We can do it.
Together.
Scanning for location of last Devlin communication.
Dope.
Dope.
Conclusion, dope.
It's the only thing that comes to my mind when I see that.
And so in this last sequence, there's no health bar or ammo bar, which means that my ammo is unlimited, but my health is not. I can still die here and have no idea how close I am to dying at any point.
Huh.
Just like real life.
Accelerated approach. Collision course. It's receiving us now, Mr. Devlin.
Well, well. The best laid plans, eh? Just what the hell are you now, Zach?
Shockwave, force and magnitude.
Cyberia weapon.
Defense systems up. Launch the swarm. Scramble all interceptors. Kill it.
Alright, so... This... You know, I said the Charlie sequence was the hardest one. I actually think this one's a little bit harder, because the enemies are a lot harder to see, and they're a lot harder to hit because their hitboxes are very small, and a lot of them are very fast. And also a lot of them shoot you as soon as they spawn in, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Sounds fair.
But since my ammo is unlimited, I'm just going to be firing continuously to give myself the best chance of actually hitting things. So, apologies for the annoying sound that this makes.
Buzz, 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 buzz. Man, and to think to get to this point, all Zach had to do was solve some puzzles and, well, I guess he killed a lot of guards.
Yeah.
Yeah, cut some words, cut some pizzas that became sentient, then tried to kill him after that. Cut some guards.
Eliminated a virus. Oh gosh.
Yeah, the camera's great in this part, by the way.
Oh my god.
Okay, so time's coming up really soon when this whole space station explodes. Just a few more seconds. And time.
See you in hell.
Good closing line.
GG. See you in hell.
Dope.
So that went pretty well, apart from one or two unfortunate unintentional deaths, but otherwise not bad.
Nice.
Yeah, it was good.
And then we just crash into this mountain and then the credits roll.
Shouts to you, Drew. Drew Markham. Joan Wood.
Amazing. Cyberia is certainly a game of all time.
We only have those on here. Have those on this show.
And if you could believe it, chat, there is a second one of these.
Yes, believe it or not, it is on a technical level, it is a better game, and that's kind of why I don't like it.
Get that nonsense out of here.
Well, awesome. Anything you folks would like to shout out and plug before we get set up for our final run of the evening?
Vital signs detected. Whatever it is, it's still alive.
Yeah, sure, really quickly. I'm gonna be back on Hotfix tomorrow doing a run at around the same time as now. So I'll see you folks then.
Very cool. Make sure you check that out. Anyone else?
Great job, Lifelike.
Yeah, great job, man. That was fun. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, anytime.
Same. This is an amazing game. Glad to be here for this.
Yeah, glad to have you.
Well, okay. I think that is going to wrap up the Siberian journey for us this evening, but we do still have one more run left of Awfully Sci-Fi tonight. But before we get to that final run, we are going to take one last little break, so feel free to get up, stretch, and maybe check to see if you have any pizza. And hopefully it doesn't bite you in the face. And we will see you in a few short moments.
I will check.
All right, welcome back to Awfully Silly. We're getting a little sci-fi with it tonight, and we have one more run. If you're just joining us, we had RoboCop 2003 leading right into Cyberia. Really, really sci-fi-y and goofy and terrible terrible games, really good runs. We have one more ready for you, but wanted to remind everyone as well, we have some new forums on the website for submitting speedruns or show ideas. So if you head on over to gamesdonequick.com/hotfix, you'll find the links on the bottom left of the page. And if you have submitted to the old forms, you will want to resubmit. So if you've used old forms before, resubmit to these new forms. Please do. Without further ado, though, I mean, it's a run that speaks for itself from a runner that speaks from himself. It is, of course, Jaxler, and it is, of course, I guess, Mushroom Men, the Spore Wars. So go ahead and take it away, Jaxler.
All right. Hope everyone's having a good evening so far. This has been a real interesting crop of games that Conception has had for us tonight. This is probably going to be the most normal-looking one you're going to be seeing from this show tonight. This is Mushroom Men, the Spore Wars. This is a game released for the Nintendo Wii, in which you play as this guy named Pax. He's a mushroom man. Mushrooms come to life. It's a 3D platformer with some combat stuff to it. kind of funky, kind of neat, got some cool stuff to it. Pretty fun little, cozy little run. So, Consumption, I'm gonna just start if you're ready.
I'm ready. Let's do it.
All right, so time is gonna start as soon as I press yes here. So we'll get started in 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck.
Thank you. Yeah. So this is Mushroom and the Spore Wars. Sort of I guess, what constitutes lore in this game, I struggle to pay attention to it sometimes, is that meteorites fell down from the heavens and brought 4 different like tribes of mushrooms to life. You've got the Bolettes, which is what our character is. You have the Morals, who we're going to meet in a little bit. And then you have some Amanitas, who are, I think, enemies later on. And then there's a 4th one that I always forget the name of. And so we are loaded into the tutorial here. This is where we kind of like are supposed to learn how to play the game. But after a certain point, you're actually able to just go out the door, and the game has like a quick tutorial bit there. So that's exactly what we're gonna do after I get through all of this text. I'm gonna line myself up for something here called a roll jump. This one's a little bit tight. There we go. The roll jumping is going to be the main movement tech that you're going to be seeing over the course of this run. Essentially what I'm doing is like a combat dodge roll and then jumping at a very specific part of the animation in order to take like the fastest part of the roll and conserve that speed into midair. And we're going to be using that all over the place to do some really fun movement. It's one of the, to me, one of the things that like drew me to like learning to run it couple months ago is just the roll jumping is really, really satisfying. So there is a specific timing to it. The closer you get your jump to that timing, the faster you'll get of a roll jump. So I'm going to start with a roll into a roll jump. This is just for spacing. Generally, roll jumps are kind of ineffective going like into slopes and like going uphill. So there's kind of some spacing that you have to consider. On top of that, we get introduced to one of the best abilities in the game, which is Spore Kinesis. There are certain objects in the game that we can sort of control with, like, basically the Mushroom Men's equivalent of the Force. Get me over there, thank you. So we can use that to pull things out of the way, and as we'll see a bit later, we can use it as sort of an improvised form of dealing damage to enemies. So this level is Dial M for Moral. This is primarily a movement level and a really fun one to move through. There's just like a lot of really good opportunities for roll jumps. Gonna be going for a bit of a cycle skip here. I might be too low, so I'm gonna take the back up here. If you do that quickly enough, you can make this rising piston cycle, but unfortunately I was a little bit too slow. Not a huge deal. And we're just gonna be doing some more roll jumps on our way through here. Something you're also going to see me do here is make use of the fact that after I jump and press A again midair, I get this like cat glide. I'm going to be using that in a couple of places where I'm doing like a lot of vertical platforming in order to sort of cut my jump early. And when I do that, I can land on the ground and do another jump again super quick. So that's a small little optimization I can do here and there. There we go, there's a good roll jump. Sometimes like you just get like such a ridiculous roll jump that you kind of have to learn to adjust for it as you do it. It's a little bit tricky to get used to. And so with Spore Kinesis, we're going to do the first major skip of the run. Instead of doing, I forget actually how you're supposed to do this casually, but what I'm going to do is take this canister right here, set it down to make it a platform for me. That is kind of a bad position. Hold on a second, as I try to salvage this. Okay, we got it. And so that allows us to skip a bunch of the intended path of the level. However, there is an invisible wall there, so you actually have to use the Spore Kinesis to pick up a softball there in order to hit the rat through the wall, and that despawns the invisible barrier there. And then we can just roll jump our way back to the end of the level here, and this will get us out of Dial M, so... Oh, no! Alright, so I have to redo the skip because I accidentally fell down, so that's a little tragic. And as you'll start to see that here, this thing is really finicky. Good back up though, we'll take it. And then there's also going to be some minecarts coming through here. I have to be very careful not to get hit there, or else I die instantly. That's one of the things you have to be careful with when you're doing roll jumps through here. So yeah, that's Dial M for Moral. A couple of these levels are like split up into two portions where you've got like the sort of like main platforming portion of the level, or like, you know, combat, what have you, and then you have like a boss section. So we're going into Old King Mole, which is the first boss. Not super worried about the boss. I'm more so worried about some moles that spawn like right before the main part of the fight begins. The fastest way to take them out with this sort of default weapon that we have at the start is these jump attacks. These jump attacks have a landing hitbox in addition to the airborne hitbox. You can actually hit them twice with one attack if you space properly, but it's pretty jank, and a lot of times you just end up like landing on top of them. And then the solution for this boss fight is just to hit the spikes, drop the log on them. Oh, that was weird. I got boosted opposite direction. Physics. There's a lot of weird physics going on. This game, like, I think it's really cool, but it's definitely a little bit janky, especially when you're trying to be like consistent with full jumps. I'm also just not used to talking over it, just because, again, there's a very specific timing that you need to do to get the fastest speed out of roll jumps, and it can be pretty tricky. We're also going to get another really sick upgrade here called the Sticky Hand. The Sticky Hand is essentially a grappling hook, or a hook shot if you've played Zelda Ocarina of Time. There's certain things that you can stick to, like these I voted stickers, or these quarters with that are stuck to things with gum. And I do a very specific camera setup there where I roll backwards, and then I get just the perfect angle to be able to barely latch onto that. One of the tricky things about this game is the pointer controls like require you to be basically perfect for it to activate certain things, and it can be really, really obnoxious to deal with sometimes. So as a result, you have to do it, even though it just seems like basic gameplay, you kind of have to do a bunch of practice with that. So this is going to take us into the second major level, which is Kudzu Request. This is where we're going to get access to the Will of the Spore, which is essentially like Spore Kinesis, but it lets you activate certain like things and like scripted bits within the level. Like, for example, it's going to make this leaf go away, and it's going to be really important for our primary objective in this level. So the way that this level is set up is that there's 5 of these different rabbits. They have a ton of HP, and they take forever to kill, but there is something related to Will of the Spore that you can use to activate and insta-kill each of the rabbits in this section here. So for this one, I'm going to go upstairs here. And a general theme with Will of the Spore is that the range of it is way too big. So as a result, you can actually skip like some of the platforming that you would normally need to do to get up there by just angling your camera properly. And so here's another good example of that. We're just going to do a bunch of really long roll jumps over to here, and then I can just reach those all the way up from there. You can see a bunch of leaf platforms that you're kind of supposed to stand on there. You can just reach them from ground level. It's really straightforward. All right, so right here, I'm actually going to wait a little bit for this rabbit to get into position before I Will of the Spore on this shovel here. That's because the rabbit, you can actually get there before the rabbit is in position to be squished by that. And if you miss it, then you have to kill the rabbit manually, and that is basically a run killer. You really do not want to do that. You do not have the proper equipment to make that happen. And so after you kill the first, like, 3 rabbits or so, it sort of gets 2 more rabbits into position so that you can use some of the other bits of geometry in order to defeat them. But once all 5 are defeated, the Kudzu, which is sort of like this weird alien plant monster thing, is like, thank you for helping me. Here's your way to go. And this is going to take us into the boss, which is the Jackalope. So the Jackalope's pretty straightforward. It's a 4-phase fight where he's going to vomit an apple core at me. And my goal is to pick it up midair with Spore Kinesis and then flick it back at him. And then he's going to get really mad and then accidentally charge into the rock. And that's going to cause him to become vulnerable, and then I can deal damage to him. And then between each phase, he's going to want to do like this charge-up attack where he grinds his antlers on the ground. And I roll up next to him in order to bait him into blocking me so that it cancels that attack animation. And then I just rinse and repeat and do this a couple of more times. But yeah, it's pretty straightforward so far, Conception. I don't know if anybody had any like questions from the chat, or if you had any questions about whatever the heck we're looking at here.
With one question I always have for you is just, how did you discover this game, and why this one? Beyond it being, the classic Daxler 3D platformer, janky, weird thing, how did you find this one? Did you own this game when it came out? What's the story behind it?
So I didn't own this when it came out, but I remember seeing like ads for it in like magazines. I think I remember it being in like the Boy Scouts magazine thing they had or whatever. That's like a really deep cut. I don't know if anybody remembers the existence. Yeah, Boys Life. That was it. Yeah. I remember seeing ads for it there, and like, here's like 5 tips to help you do really well in this game, because that was the thing they did back then. So I remember seeing it there, but I never ended up getting it, but I always had this memory of it in the back of my head, right? And then I saw another speedrunner by the name of Dark Terex, who you might know from the Mega Man community, like run this game and push it super hard, and that kind of inspired me to give it a shot as well. So yeah, and now here I am.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. Well, yeah, I actually I had talked to Dark Terex about running this game on my show before. He was away this weekend for Mother's Day, so just being the good son, taking care of mom. We appreciate that, but we also still get to see some Mushroom Men, so that's awesome.
Got it. Nice. Okay, so I was actually doing a skip there called Nail Jump, where you're supposed to actually defeat like this wasp mom and all. Speaking of Mother's Day, all these little wasplings, and they are evil and they will murder you to death. And so there's like a sort of a cutscene trigger that plays there if you don't defeat them. And so I basically used that nail as a platform to jump over it, and I'm going to do another skip where I jump over another invisible wall in order to skip the fight where we get introduced to the Amanitas for the first time. And then right here, I'm going to skip some of the intended platforming by just jumping up sort of the hubcap there, for lack of... I don't actually know what that's called. I don't cars very well. This is like one of the most like broken but also really difficult levels in the run, because you have nail jump, which you want to hit first try, because if you don't, the wasps will start attacking you and you'll probably just die outright. And then you also have a couple of other strats that are really difficult. But luckily this next one is pretty easy. This is one of the easiest out of bounds I've ever seen. You just go right through the wall. There's just a hole in it. And this is going to allow us to skip a really long puzzle where you have to like hit all these like cell phones and switches around. It's really slow. So over the course of all of this, I've actually been collecting a bunch of scab, which are like sort of these little capsule like prizes, things that have different components that you can use to build weapons, which is kind of neat. And we use that in order to build the safety stabber out of a Nintendo DS stylus. And spear weapons are basically the most useful weapons in the game, not only because of damage output and sort of ability to avoid dying, but they also have some utility in terms of movement tech when we use the aerial attack. And we'll see that a little bit more after we get out of backyard and into scaling the mountain here. So overall, that was a really good backyard. I hit everything pretty much first try. And that was just an out of bounds where you can just... there's no limit to how long you can hover when you use your hover ability after you jump. So you can just hover all the way into the loading zone that is there for when you complete the puzzle. Alright, so I just did a skip right there that's going to allow me to hit this button. In this section, you're normally supposed to hit all of these different corks in order to allow like this Morel mushroom with an airship to get around. But you can, again, because Will of the Spore is broken, you can hit the switch for the final door of the section, like just all the way from that tiny little bit there. So I do a couple of stab attacks there in order to kind of get me a little bit of extra distance in a couple of locations, and it's also going to be really good right there for getting me over the top of the enemies here without taking too much damage, because the boss here, which is the possum, can kind of heck me if I'm not careful here, so we want as much HP going in. I'm going to be a little bit quiet to focus here because basically my goal is to use Spore Kinesis to take these acorns from up top and chuck them at the boss here once he becomes vulnerable. So I have to be very careful not to get swiped by the tail. So I'm staying relatively towards the middle here. And we've got one more here, I believe. No, 2 more. Interesting. Alright, well the game's being a little mean, but that's okay. There we go. And then that's going to give us a meteor chunk. Don't worry too much about the meteor chunks. They're not super important. And that's going to be sort of the end of that section right there. So now we're going into what most people would argue is the worst level in the game, which is the Mighty Morals. The Mighty Morals is like this giant, like, mechanical bastion for the Morel species. And there's a lot of really frustrating and annoying combat. We also haven't been picking up a lot of weapon upgrades, so we're going to be pretty underpowered going into some of the combat here, and there's some really annoying puzzles and stuff coming through here that we have to deal with. So we're going to do a sliding tile puzzle here, so I'm going to concentrate just for a second. Again, a lot of the cursor movement is stupidly precise, so as a result, I kind of have to concentrate here and make sure that I have everything kind of centered in on the target, otherwise it just won't register. So we get it set up like that, and the goal of this puzzle is to get the dominoes into the side slots there. There we go. And then we have probably the most brutal like wave of enemies fight coming up here in this run, which is going to be sort of where all of these like cars get clamped up here, and sort of what I'm looking for in this fight is to use Spore Kinesis to bring these cars and use them to actually deal damage to the enemies, because that's a more effective damage output source than my current weapon. We will be getting a weapon upgrade later into the level, but I kind of have to concentrate here and sort of manipulate the enemies to sort of run into the cars here and effectively control the crowd here. I have to be very careful here because I am very low HP. I need to concentrate for a second. I got clipped. That's unfortunate. So something I can do once all of the enemy... Where am I? Oh. I wasn't all the way up there. That was weird. So something I can do once the enemies get low enough HP is sort of like a spore explosion attack, where I just click on them and press B, and that'll like basically rig them to blow. And then for this last one right here, I'm just gonna do manual attacks through here. The other annoying thing is that the enemies can also pick up the health, which is very, very annoying when you're trying to clear them out quickly. There's still one left? Jeez, OP. But yeah, you can kind of see I'm just using the car, and that like gets them in range super quick there. The other thing that's really, yeah, it's pretty tricky there. That's probably like the hardest fight that we have to do in the run. But the reason, in addition to that fight, a big reason why people don't like this level is there's a lot of going back and forth, hitting switches to open doors, and it's just a lot of switching back and forth. And again, it's also like super persnickety to get Will of the Spore to work on a lot of these switches. And it's also tricky to really get like your good roll jumps, because it's really easy to get your head bonked on the ceiling. And when you bonk your head on the ceiling like that, yeah, see what I mean? Like I can't even, yeah. It's really annoying sometimes. And then inside here, we are going to grab the pickle fork, which is going to let us make the pickle pricker, I believe is the name of the weapon, which is just very fun to say. And we hit those 2 switches, and then we'll get out of there. I'm cutting off some of my jumps early here, again, so I don't like bonk my head on the ceiling. And it also kind of allows me to, please, thank you, start up roll jumps a little bit earlier as well, and just kind of give me a lot of control. Because when you get those sort of high-speed roll jumps and hold down the A button to jump for longer, it's kind of a commitment, right? And you're kind of committed to the direction for a fair bit. Yeah, so we're going to use Spore Explosion right there. That was actually a pretty solid fight right there. And then we're going to go to the I voted sign right over there. And this is the part that really annoys people because we're going to go through a bunch of these different hallways and have to hit these different switches in each of them in order to get by here. So we'll hit that one. Something I can also do to speed this section up is make use, whenever I use the sticky hand, I can cancel it early by pressing the B button. And that allows me to sort of get to solid ground a little bit faster. So I can start like another roll jump again, for example. So let me see if I can remember how to do this. Oh, nice. It was like 1 unit off being in the closed position. Thanks, game. Yeah, this game isn't like this is, you know, awfully silly, right? So like this game isn't like that. I think it's actually a really underrated and cool game. It is very jank. And I don't think anyone who likes this game would deny that.
Yeah, we were talking about that right before we went on. Whereas the first two games of tonight's episode definitely felt more on the awful side, this one felt more instantly to me as, you know, on the silly side, just based on the fact we're a sentient mushroom walking around.
It's such a mood, is just being a just in real life, just being a sentient mushroom walking around.
I mean, isn't that what we all are? You know, we grow, we walk around, we are a fungus.
Oh, his head was stuck in the wall. That was funny. I haven't seen that one before. Yeah, we do some like sealing off things. Basically, the entire reason lore-wise why we're here is because our character is the protagonist, and so as a result, he has the ability to take these meteor fragments that give all the mushrooms life, and sort of absorb them to make him more stronger. And like his entire deal is he's trying to figure out why that is, because he is the last of his kind. So basically we're trying to get answers out of this guy, and he's just being like, no, keep me alive, and you know, like fair. So this is an auto-scroller. We get a crossbow, and we're supposed to, this is like an on-rail section where you try to hit as many of the flying in air brigade as we possibly can to get a meteor fragment. But you don't need any meteor fragments in order to beat the game. If you get enough of them, they give you like max HP upgrades and also increase the radius of the explosion that you do when you like press the B button on an enemy to like do the Thanos snap on them, for lack of a better term. So the fastest strat here is just to lose, because it just means the minigame ends faster.
I love when a speedrun has something that's just faster to be bad at it. Love that.
It's very accessible in that way, you know?
Yeah.
I also just think like this is a pretty accessible like speed game too as well, because most of the emphasis in this game is on movement. There's not like really any like glitches that you have to understand how they work or anything like that. It's just kind of an expression of your movement, as well as how good are you at using the pointer controls and making use of things like spore kinesis and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Wow, I just saved 52 seconds on my PB. That was, despite the death that I took there, that was actually a really, really good Mighty Morals, which is pretty funny. Sometimes that just happens with this game. You're just like, oh, that was actually that good?
Let's go.
But now we're going into Showdown in Shiitake Town. This is actually a pretty fun level, I would argue. This is where we get introduced to the Shiitake, which are another species of mushroom. And sort of the way that this level is structured is that there's 5 of them, and we have to defeat all of them in combat as kind of like a mutual respect sort of thing. I don't quite remember how the lore goes, but that was the rookie, and so we need an armband from each of them in order to proceed to the next level here. And so the rookie is just pretty straightforward. We're just doing jump attacks there. For this one, what we're going to do is basically stun lock him with this giant honey jar. Each of them kind of like are benders of a different element, but he's really weak to the gravity gun, for lack of a better term. So right there, I'm gonna do Will of the Spore in order to start growing this plant while I'm in the cutscene. And if you do it right, you can actually ride the plant sort of as it's going up. And then this level is actually kind of cool because there's like it's sort of built like a racetrack, where there's like, it kind of goes around in like an oval shape. And you can approach it sort of from either direction, which is pretty fun. But we start with the Earth one because depending on which direction you go, you can actually sort of alter the environment when you solve some of the puzzles in order to sort of activate specific weaknesses of some of these shiitake. And we really want to do that for the water shiitake. So these are the forest shiitake. These are by far the most dangerous of the bunch. The way that they work is that they have... There's two... Well, for one, there's two of them, which is dangerous. But they also like to hang out in these trees here. And so the name of the game is just jump attacks here. So I got to be really careful not to die here. And then after a couple attacks, they'll be cowardly. It's also really tricky to use your spear here to hit these because you have a very narrow hitbox with this. Oh, and I don't think I mentioned this, but every time you attack, it requires a whirl of the Wii remote. So you're trying to do all this like precise, specific attacks and combat and stuff, and it just doesn't want to cooperate with you.
Oh yeah, shout out to that Wii remote. That is for sure.
All right, we got him without a doubt. Cool. All right, so we have one more, which is the water shiitake, probably the easiest one. Again, because it is dependent on the water for like its attacks, I guess. And we can, if we come this way, we can drain the water. So what I'm gonna do here is hit pointer, please. Hit each one of these with roll of the spore. And this will drain the water, and this will force them into a different part of the arena where it's a lot easier and more consistent to do jump attacks upon him. So he's going to come down from the ceiling. I gotta concentrate here for a second because I kind of it's one of those things where you have to react to the AI and where they go. Alright, we got him in a good corner, though. There we go. Alright, and that's all of the shiitake, and then they're going to lead us to the level after this, which is Giants of the Inner Sanctum. So I got a bit more movement here before I really need to, like, super talk about what's going on in the next level, so I don't know if we had any questions from the chat, any feedback, comments on my performance. I don't know.
Definitely a lot of mushroom-based puns, but I think that comes with the territory.
Oh, no.
Yeah, we're a bunch of fungi, so you don't get a bullet time ability. Your character looks like a fun guy. I'm gonna need a minute to think of puns for this bit.
You hate to see it.
You hate to see it, but you have to see it. It's just part of the territory, you know?
Yeah, it's part of the culture. Alright, so this is Giants of the Inner Sanctum. This is kind of like the lair of the Amanita Triad. And so there's this fella named Cactus. They chopped his arms off, which is pretty brutal. But they are also sentient, and if we sort of rescue them from their cages, then it turns Cactus into his final form, and he'll be able to take on the General, who is this massive fella. Just an absolute chunker. And we'll see him a bit later. So there's kind of two major paths in sort of the burrow here. The first one I'm going to do, I'm going to kind of jump over these fellas' heads and then try to sneak my way here while their AI is distracted, and then I can do a spear attack to get me the rest of the way there. This is sort of protected by two locks that are on timer-based mechanisms, so as soon as I hit this switch here, the timer will begin. And then I just gotta will the Spore 2 platforms here. And then we can do a real big roll jump to get right through the window without having to do any of the rest of them. And then we can Spore Kinesis the last one. So this one I'd argue is the trickier of the two. There's going to be a bunch of walls that come up, and the intended solution here is to use the sticky hand in order... Oh, second. precise platforming moment. There we go. So instead of the intended solution, I'm just going to jump attack over all the top of them, and then we're out of there. And then we have a cool guys don't look at cutscenes moment where we just jump off the edge. I love it when games allow you to do that. It's so fun.
I love that. Whee!
This is another portion of the game where the ceilings are pretty dang low. So as a result, I kind of have to space and sort of cut off some of my roll jumps early in order to make sure I don't bonk my ceiling on the head all that much. Yeah, that was a nice line. Yeah, sometimes like this game just lets you like feel like you're a genius, and then other times you just turbo beef it. Which, sometimes, that's just the way of the fun guy, I guess.
That is what they dictate that to.
Alright, so this one's got like a bunch of platforms that I'm going to not use because we have the ability to roll jump. So we're going to just cut across to this way. Again, trying to sort of cut off some of these jumps early so that I don't have to bonk my head on the ceiling. And then what you're supposed to do for this section is take these lids. Oh no, I gotta flip. That's really, really bad. I salvaged it somehow. Nice. If you flip those lids upside down, it's really bad. What I was trying to do was get it onto the white one. So I have to do a really cursed backup there, but I managed to get it first try. So we are in there, PM. So that's nice. So that's Mr. Left. The arms are named Mr. Left and Mr. Right, respectively, which is just great. And so they are going to be able to kick the primary body of Cactus out of jail. And then he's going to allow us to sort of make our way here. We do have another combat section, though, coming up once we get into sort of the main clearing. So I'm doing some... Ooh, I'm a little low HP, so this might get dicey later. But not the end of the world. Because they left us a bunch of softballs here that we can use to do a boatload of damage. And I'm gonna Spore Yukin some of these. I don't know what the... Oh, I did. That's okay. Oh, yeah, so remember how I mentioned that the enemies can absorb the HP? I thought I absorbed, like, HP there. Those little green orbs. But it turns out I lied to myself. And... Yeah, there we go. So they're going to knock this down. And then something I'm going to do here next is to take one of these with me and sort of send it down this way. You're normally not supposed to have a physics object with you when you go into this next sort of quasi-boss encounter, but I'm going to send one down that way so that I can use it later. So you kind of have to take it with you. And then Cactus is going to get freed here, so... Pax is going to do another Shoryuken. And then we're just going to... Oop, wrong way. There we go. Let me see if I get this roll jump. Nice. Whee! That doesn't really save you any time. It's just funny. Alright, and so if I set this up right, we should find a softball right about here. And we're going to remote detonate these. Yeah, it can be really tricky to sort of keep track of your softball, where it's going. There we go. So that's the first wave of them, then there's going to be a second wave. I'm just going to go ahead and sort of pick up these. In addition to them being health pickups, every time you use something like Will of the Spore or Spore Kinesis, it kind of, like that little green bar under my cursor on screen is sort of my Spore meter. And sort of every time I use that, I use a little bit of the Spore meter, so I need to make sure I don't run out, because then that ends up being really bad. We got two of them with one softball there, which is pretty good. And then we got the last mage there. Alright, so there's a little bit more left to Inner Sanctum before we're done here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line myself up on the side here so I can just barely get a peek at that I voted sticker. And that gets us down to over here. Then I'm going to lean to this side and then try to hit this one. There we go. And so we're essentially doing this part backwards. So instead of like going up all the intended platforming, we're doing this kind of like backwards. And the nice thing about that is if I get through here quickly enough and sort of come at these from a high enough angle, then I can actually despawn sort of the. I didn't get it for the first bit there, but I did for this one right here, where there's two of those scorpion enemies that are supposed to spawn, but I jumped over the trigger for that. So. And then all I need to do here is I'm just gonna go ahead and drop down right about here, hit this switch, and that's gonna activate the end of the level. All right, so that level has a lot going on. It's basically 8 minutes straight of movement. And now we're going into Log Village. So we've got 2 more major levels before we're finished with the run. We've got Log Village Villainy, and then the trailer. Log Village is, there's a lot going on to it. This is also where we're going to pick up our final weapon upgrade, which also looks really rad. So this is also a really tricky level because there's a bit of a tough skip that I have to do, as well as the boss fight of this portion being kind of a pain in the butt. So hopefully that won't heck me too much today. So we're just going to float our way through here. We're going to pick up this piece of scab, and then we're going to do Will of the Spore. That's going to open up the next section. Oops. Big spear attack through there. And then we're on our way through here. So we're going to pick up one more piece of scab here. This is going to allow us to make the highest tier of stab weapon, which is the engagement thruster, the engagement zinger, sorry. And so now with that in our possession, we have the best DPS that we're going to be getting for the run. And we're going to do a massive roll jump right there. That's going to let us get onto this leaf. There's no... Okay, I don't know what that was. But it saved me time. If anybody would like to clip that and send it to me, please do, because that is a new one. Normally, that's supposed to send you on a leaf over to the left, but I just went really, really far, and I don't know exactly what I did to cause it, so... I guess I can say the line. That's not happened before. We got the puns. We've got the cliches. We got everything tonight.
I feel like we always find some new tech. I don't know how it happens, but we always get new tech on this show. I love that.
Nice roll jump right through there. That's a really tricky little movement segment because you have all those worms that like want to murder you, and that's not exactly conducive to a solid speedrun. Oh.
No, not really.
So I'm going to do a little bit of a skip here, hopefully, where we're going to go right up through here instead of going to kind of the 4th platform. And then we're going to be doing like a really long platforming sequence. So while I'm kind of like getting my way through here, I'll kind of explain what we're going to expect here. Because I will kind of need to concentrate on the boss fight once I get there in order to like at least do it semi-competently. So the boss is a turtle who has been infected by spore stuff. And so the way he works is he's got a bunch of things that you can cast Will of the Spore on. And that sort of cures him slowly but surely of his infection. We're doing him a solid. He's not really a boss. He's more just a friend that we're trying to... he's a homie. He's a good turtle. Little lots. There we go. It's really easy to get disoriented here as well. So essentially what I have to do here is I have to hit all the targets on his body by targeting them with Will of the Spore, which, as we've discussed before, is really finicky to get to work properly. So I'm going to be doing a bunch of roll jumps to sort of get around him. And then the other thing we have to worry about is our spore meter. Every time we use Will of the Spore, it costs a bit of our meter. And it's also really hard to hit him on the head. Oh, I'm out. So not only am I dealing with the boss here, but I'm also dealing with all these like wasps that I had to kill. Please, turtle. He's just being so obnoxious right now. Thank you. My goodness. There we go. And then I gotta do another quick refill. All right, we got him. Oh, that boss is really hard. So sorry I wasn't talking all that much there, but I'm trying to concentrate there.
You no need to apologize. That looked difficult, especially with the Wiimote.
Yeah, it's kind of a nightmare. And it's like, I just wish it was a bit more lenient to kind of be able to get those to work. But now we're going into the trailer. I think like aesthetically and just kind of what this level is going for is really, really cool. You're basically in this person's trailer home. And it's like nasty. It's filthy. It's rotten. And this is kind of where the final boss has been leading us to his sort of master plan this entire time. And so the way that this level works gameplay-wise is that we need to construct a bottle rocket in order to get to the next portion of the level. And in order to do that, there are 5 bits of scav kind of that we need in order to build it, so that we're just going to be going to get all of those as quickly as possible. And then we've got kind of this cool Will of the Spore puzzle here where I'm going to skip some of it by doing that little jump right there. And then point up here. So everything we need is all in these little boxes right here, right? So just going to go ahead and hit this one, and this is going to take us down the Kudzu Express. Hit this one, hit the toaster, and the toast is gonna fling us up into this section. Pretty solid movement so far. And then we're gonna do a big roll jump into hover up here. It's gonna kind of knock us away, but if I just re-trigger the hover, it lets me glide all the way over here without worrying about the AC unit all that much. That's going to get us the rocket wing, which is the final piece that we need. And then we have a battle here with the necromancer. So we're just going to yoink, and it's going to take care of him. So I have to be a little bit careful here because there is going to be a spider that spawns here. And then I can just take this generator, activate it. It's going to get me up to here to this telescope. And one more bit of platforming here, and then we are going to head into the back half of the trailer here. And so now we are going to do a pretty tight roll jump here. Gonna set this up. Good. Nice. Okay, that's a bunch of tricky roll jumps right there. And so this is gonna take us up this way. I gotta be really careful here because the camera is really funky. And this is kind of like a forced 2D second. Game, please. Oh my goodness. Oh, that really sucks. Second. See if I can't hit this again. There we go. Yeah, see what I mean? It's like really funky, and the jumps are really tight for no discernible reason, so. That was really unfortunate. I was hoping that would go better. Yeah, like I said, camera here is really bad. So
it just looks atrocious.
Yeah, I was really unfortunate too. I didn't want to say anything, but I was a second and a half ahead of record pace going in here, so that's a little unfortunate as well. But you know, it happens. The game's gonna lag real hard through there, and then we're gonna take this lift up to the top here. And then we're going to go into the final boss, which has maybe the funniest title for a level that I have ever seen in a video game, which is Robot Wife. I don't know what it is about those two words put together, but it is incredibly funny to me. So basically, the villain mushroom of this game basically wanted to ascend with all the power of the meteorites and also marry a robot wife. Because of course he does.
Big plankton energy, if you ask me.
Yeah. So the first part of this area is just getting to the top. And there's a cutscene with a robot. He's gonna do his thing for us, and then die a hero. We have to go up the robot's foot, which is gross. And then this is Pester. He's the Lapioda, I believe, that's been behind everything. And we are going to use our diamonds, our engagement ring stabbing tool, in order to take care of him and all of his minions. So it is very common to die here because the enemies are tough and they are unfair. So what I'm looking for here is to I didn't quite get the health in time, but what I'm trying to do there is use the will of the use the Spore Yukin, I guess. Oh my, yeah. See this? Yeah, this can be really brutal sometimes. So now I need to look up at where he's throwing the rocks at me from. This is kind of like similar to the Jackalope fight, where you gotta throw things back at him super quick. The HP. The nice thing as well is that they can get damaged by the rocks as well as me, so I can sort of use that to my advantage. And when I say to my advantage, I mean completely unintentionally, in order to get some extra damage thrown in there. Where did he go? Where did he go? Oh, that's where he went. It's really hard to see him sometimes. Yeah, so probably gonna take another death through here. Yeah, see, I died instantly because this game's not fair. That's sometimes how this fight goes. Alright, no one I can Spore Yukin yet. Yeah, see how the rock explosions are just kind of doing the number here? And he's gonna heal up too, like a jerk. Oh, did I get it? Oh, that's for me. Yeah, the rocks also do a boatload of damage, so I gotta be real careful there. And luckily, I don't have to worry about any more waves of enemies. I just gotta do a couple more of these rock flings, and then we'll get into the backstage of the fight. Yeah, so apologies if my commentary has been kind of all over the place with this. This is my first time ever doing this at like a, showcase marathon type of setting. And it's also, there's a lot going on, so my apologies, but I hope everyone's enjoyed this so far. We're almost at the end here. This is the final phase. All I'm gonna do is sort of just jump attack at him. This will eventually get him stuck in the corner. And then time ends on final hit. And so once he's within HP range, I'm gonna do the Spore Yukin on him one last time. Alright, get ready, and time. Alright, that was a 48-47, not bad, like 43 seconds off of PV, so yeah.
That is pretty dang good.
That's pretty good. I was 11 and a half ahead out of Inner Sanctum, which is pretty funny for how bad everything up until Backyard was. So we'll take it, hey.
No, you take that. And you never need to apologize for your commentary. It's always good. Literally always good. So do not apologize.
Yeah. Well, we've taken care of the robot wife. The robot wife had a meteor inside of her the entire time. So we have saved Spore Kind. We've done it for the people. Hope you all enjoyed that. thank you so much for having me, Conception. I want to give a big shout out to Dark Terex. Like we said earlier, he was originally going to be the one to do this run, and I'm happy to have filled in, but I really want to give a big shout out to Dark Terex. He's really, really dang good at this game, and he's just a awesome human being as well. It was a big inspiration for me trying this run out, so I want to give him a huge shout out as well. Shout out to Game Dismount as well for also being a really sick runner. Mushroom Man runners are just generally pretty cool, so I want to shout them out a lot. Also want to thank Conception for having me. This was a ton of fun, and I don't know why you keep having me come back for these things, but...
Well, you keep running games that are just perfect for the show. It's really on you at this point. Yes, this is the fourth Jaxler appearance. The fourth Jaxler. It's a record.
I can't keep getting away with this. Oh my goodness.
But you do, because you're also going to be doing a very important run at this upcoming SGDQ, yes?
That is correct. I will be running, so we've done this on the show as well. I will be running Neopets The Darkest Fury Saturday morning at like 5:47 Eastern. So if you don't know anything about that game, great. Just make sure you show up to the run, because it'll blow your mind. Yes. That game is funny.
That game is on Saturday for a reason. So,
it's a great time. Speaking of great times, it's been a great time being here. If watching me play this game has made you interested in checking out the run, feel free to like shoot me or Dark Terex or somebody else a message. It's pretty straightforward to learn the game. Outside of the backyard level, all of the skips are all of it's just basically movement and getting good at the combat. So it's pretty accessible to pick up if you're looking for something to run on Wii. And like with the Wii remote as well. If you want to catch more of me, like I said, go for old Dark Terex. He's a lot better fundamentally at this game than I am, and he'll destroy my time soon. But if you want to check out me for whatever reason, I'm going to start getting ready for Neopets at GDQ soon, so you can find me at twitch.tv/Jaxler1. Stream all of my runs and attempts there and stuff like that, so feel free to check me out there. But other than that, I don't have too much to say otherwise. I was just very excited to get to play Mushroom Man because the game's cool.
Yes, I was very excited.
Good.
Yeah, no, this is definitely, again, cannot stress enough, not on the awful side, definitely on the silly side. Definitely on the silly side, for sure. But yes, Jaxler, thank you so much for being here yet again, showcasing some of the finest games that Awfully Silly offer. By the way, we are not done with Hotfix content tonight, gang. We have Out of Bounds right after this, so Kung Fu Food Cup has a excellent show planned out for us featuring Elden Ring, I believe. So you're going to want to check that out. And don't forget as well, your subs, Prime Gaming subs, gift subs, and bits cheered on the GDQ Twitch channel help support Games Done Quick Hotfix content. So please consider subscribing if you enjoy the daily speedrunning content. We really appreciate it. But since we are already a little bit over time, that is going to be this episode of Awfully Silly. We will not have one in 2 weeks because it will be GDQ. So you will be watching SGDQ 2023 instead. So we'll see you in 4 weeks with another episode of Awfully Silly. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.